So when she asked him for an answer because she was fired, all he said was, which I think is Michael Bay, be hot. Those are literally his directions sometimes. Be hot. I had a note on the set before. Mike, I'll say, who am I talking to? Where am I supposed to be looking? And he responds, just be sexy. I get mad when people talk to me like that. That's what Megan Fox said. Oh, and then she said something about Hitler to Steven Spielberg. That's a little different than what I was just looking at.
This is like, okay, this makes no sense. On the one side, I kind of feel bad for her for basically Michael Bay just treating her like an object. But on the other hand, like, I kind of hate her for also being basically a sack of shit. So
she was quoted on Wonderland magazine, which sounds fake. What's up, big pizza guy? What's up, Sid? Sid, you like Megan Fox? Hear this one. She was quoted in Wonderland magazine as saying, he's like Napoleon. He wants to create this insane and famous madman reputation. He wants to be like Hitler on his sets, and he is. So he's a nightmare to work for. So
I mean, I could totally see Michael Bay pulling off Napoleon Dynamite. Absolutely.
Nope, that was about Spielberg, buddy.
Okay, that makes total sense.
How did you not follow any of that?
No, I did. I was just trying to veer off a little bit and just be weird. What can I say?
You were trying? What?
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't. You made a mistake. Just say you made a mistake.
I did not make a mistake.
Yes, you did. You said Michael Bay, and I had said you made a mistake.
Oh, right? that I give credit for. Yeah, like I
what
knew.
What do you think we're talking about?
I was joking when you said Napoleon, and then I said Napoleon Dynamite. I'm sorry. I was trying to make a funny, and it just went over your head.
Hear that? I'm reading. I can't read and hear. I'm not Josh, who can read, hear, and spell.
Can you chew gum, read, and speak though?
Megan Fox got canceled years ago. I know, Sid. That's what we're talking about. But Greg thinks that she didn't.
I don't think. I mean, she's been in the news, so I don't know if she got fully canceled. There's a difference between fully canceled and like half canceled and stuff.
Josh, go ahead. I know you want to come in here and talk to Greg.
Greg, you missed the whole part of this was that Derrik was going to get into his Pete Davidson phase. Pete Davidson famously fucks every hot chick that gets broken up with. Megan Fox and MGK just broke up.
Is that official though, or is that
my
just
Pete Davidson is more that I'm just going to be ugly and quit SNL.
Well, hang on. You need. Here's the other problem too, bud. I feel like you got to get some ink, just a little bit.
True.
You know, just like all you need though, just like a line. Just get a random line, like somewhere, like on your wrist, on like a finger or something, and you're fine.
So we're gonna go to emerging tech consultant Greg this early in the show.
Yes.
Sid said fully canceled is when you lose your role in one of the largest grossing movies of all time. Who's your like number one canceled? Because you're talking about the tiers of canceled here, Greg. Who's your like, oh, that person was canceled?
My like top tier person that got canceled.
Who's the blue chip? Like if someone from space came down and said, what's canceled? Who's the one person you'd show them?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, Donald Sterling, obviously. That's Josh, obvious.
Why didn't you like that one?
Yeah. What's wrong with that one?
I feel like there's so many better picks than Donald Sterling.
I mean, he lost an NBA franchise. That was billions.
Yeah.
True.
Like, come on. In terms of financial
means.
Yeah, but like in terms of notoriety.
Who else?
Oh, wow.
Because he kind of like, I guess he was canceled, but he was also just like told he couldn't own that thing anymore.
Yeah.
It was basically like having a baby and then having its like favorite toy taken away, put up there, but yet he still has all of these other toys that he can play with and stuff, but he can never have that one back because he abused it too much.
Who were you thinking, Josh?
Okay, so I Googled it just to see what common top ones are. Kevin Spacey's one of one. Duh.
That's a blue chip.
Yeah, that's
What do you
fair.
mean? Yeah, very much so it was.
I
Well,
didn't
he
even, I
went
didn't even
to
think of that.
jail. He got so
Yeah.
canceled. Like, I mean, him and Harvey
also
Weinstein
released-
are in jail.
He also released that weird like video that was in the vein of his character from House of Cards, like on Christmas Eve a couple years
Right.
back. It's a weird fucking thing too.
Sid said Dave Chappelle, and he's still alive.
No,
Yeah,
Dave
but
Chappelle didn't get
he-
canceled.
I
He
think
got
that's-
canceled,
If
but
we were doing the light
he came back.
canceling, right? Yeah, I'd say he was light canceled. James Franco's been pretty canceled, but not the whole way.
James Franco's been blackballed. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
a difference there, but he's been
I
blackballed.
feel like blackballed was this. It's the same thing. It's just the term before they invented canceling is the term.
That's fair.
I keep getting thrown off when I see his brother do stuff, and I'm just like, damn. Like, that
Army
was just-
Hammer.
He eats people.
yeah,
baby.
that one was nuts.
DaBaby did get really canceled
He
for
got
his speech.
he got so canceled that like I was like, am I allowed to listen to him anymore? Also, Louis C.K. big cancel,
Louis
but
C.K.
he has
is
come
a
all the way
big
back.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the coming back from the cancel, I think it's a time thing, right? Because there's
Yeah.
people that have been canceled for like a day, and it's like, oh, that didn't work. Like Aziz Ansari, his cancellation was just completely false, right?
Right.
So like,
Oh yeah,
it was just like, yeah. Kanye, see Sid, I'd say Kanye, but he's
That's
still
close.
Kanye. Like he's still Kanye.
I could tell you that none of his vinyls went on sale when he got canceled,
Wow.
yeah,
which
that's
was
true.
maybe what some people were hoping for. Not me, I wouldn't do that, but you know.
Heartbreak indeed. All right, let's crack these beers open. Greg's not drinking because he's a virgin. I got to twist off. 3, 2, 1, action. Let's go around. Greg, what kind of water are you drinking?
I'm actually not drinking water. I decided to go a different route
Thank you,
for
Ty.
this time, and I went with Heineken Zero.
Oh my
you
God.
Ant-Man. You
He's
Ant-Man plug. I
drinking.
love that.
That's awesome. He's drinking
Alcohol-
alcohol-free beer.
Alcohol-free beer, baby. Yeah.
Josh?
I was at my
go ahead.
distributor, and I actually saw like some good options, and I almost got a Brooklyn Brewing variety pack that was non-alcoholic
Yep.
too. So
They have some good ones.
It's a flu game for me. Shout out to me for still showing up. I'm dual wielding Liquid Death and lime cucumber Gatorade.
if this does not hydrate you and like just get as many electrolytes in you as possible, then nothing will at this point.
What, Derek?
Just fuck you both.
Well, I would be drinking, but then I'll be sicker.
Greg, would you like to compete with that?
Nah, not in particular.
His
Are
soul
you even
would be sicker.
religious?
What?
Are you even religious?
I would say this is like the closest thing I do to religion, but it's like it's ambiguous to say the least on my part in that sense. I do it
This seems sacrilegious.
Why is it sacrilege?
Because you're just jumping on. Like you're just like, all right, this is a thing that I'm doing in my life, and you're mimicking Christianity.
Yes, I am mimicking Christianity, all right. Like if this is the equivalent to Jesus Christ wandering the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, then so be it.
Is
Yeah,
Lent
I'm wondering
40
where
days?
the fuck my host is.
40 days and 40 nights, yeah.
Lent's 40 days and 40
Always
nights.
has been
Always
Holy
has been, bud.
shit.
since the start.
Mm-hmm. The start of times, ever since the devil tried to
Did you
tempt
know
Jesus.
noon was 12 o'clock?
No, it's not. Oh, high noon. High noon is at 3.
He's been in Wyoming too long.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I swear to God, high noon is at 3.
That's not what I
I've never-
said.
I've never once used the term high noon unless
No,
I'm
but that's just a
referring to like the
completely
alcohol
different thing. That's like saying, fish are in water, and you're like, well, goldfish are a snack. Okay.
Flu game. Shout out me. Playing
Who?
through it.
Who said high noon?
No one did. Just
That's my
John.
point.
playing
He's just
through it.
him and Dre are just screaming at clouds.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Most of the
it
time.
makes sense. It makes sense because Josh is the oldest of us, so he would be the one
He's
most likely to be
fucking
screaming at
senior.
clouds
Am I?
eventually.
By
Yes.
far.
Yeah.
By
By like
far.
7 years.
By-
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends if you count Boyd.
He's not here. Who mentioned Boyd?
Well, out of the 3 of us, yeah.
Are you asking the oldest at Thoughts on the Bench? Because if that's the case, then it's clearly Chipper. Like, come on.
Just put me down.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did
We're
you know
playing.
noon was 12 o'clock? Well, high noon is 3.
We're playing with 2.5 folks on 2 beers deep tonight.
We're not.
Apparently.
We're playing. We have one starter, somebody who's choosing to sit out for 40 days on contract negotiations, and a guy trying to play through a hangnail. Like, I can't handle this.
I can't handle. I'm trying to think. What's the last time that someone actually sat out for a contract dispute in the NBA? It was probably like Russell Westbrook. I don't know. James Harden. Someone would do something like that. Harden took less money, actually. Now that I think about it, I'm a saint compared to him.
My neighbor Frank, if we're including anyone alive. Sid's neighbor Frank is currently the oldest person that has an affiliate with Thoughts from the Bench.
That's fantastic.
By listening to it or being next to someone who listens to it, therefore they are affiliated. That's how affiliations work.
Well, you're both sober, so I did a thing last night.
Yes.
Yeah, this thing that you told us about.
Boys.
I need to understand where in the world you heard about it, how in the world this came on your radar, and just
obviously by carrier pigeon.
By scroll, yeah.
Yeah.
They went oh, that trumpet with no horn. And so
you know what, that makes sense, because if you in Nashville, there's literally music playing everywhere. So someone was probably playing a horn and they just gave it to you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
play through it.
Yeah.
You're our only hope.
I'm going through it. Anyway, so yeah, Greg just looked to pass the ball to me and just threw it out of bounds. So
Russell Westbrook for you, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So we have vendors. So our media team spends a ton of money for our clients through there's one called Ad Theory and all this stuff. I get a text from my buddy Andy at work, and he says, hey, our Twitch rep is taking a bunch of people to Nashville medieval mixed martial arts. Do you guys want to go? And he sent me a link to a video. And I just sat there and watched these guys in full night gears beat the piss out of each other. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. So we got the tickets. We go. It's at this place out in the Opryland Mall. It's called Nashville Palace. We meet the rep. The rep's asking me and Jaden, so the Bread Boys, Jaden, shout out the Bread Boys, how we stream, stuff like that. I let her know we moved to YouTube, but I still stream on Twitch. It was really cool. So the rep's cool. We're there. Everyone's friendly. Like Andy's there, a good buddy, a bunch of people from work, right? We go in, and I get through the door, and it is the closest thing to a private small wrestling match that I've imagined you guys have gone to at like Spirit or
yes,
the theater, the Rex. Oh, and dude,
Rex, Mr. Smalls, like all that. Yeah, yes. I got you.
Just wooden chairs, no risers, nothing, around a cage that is fence and then chicken wire and then a net. And I'm standing there and I'm just holding Jaden's sleeve, just looking, soaking it in. So the CCAC gym wrestling. Yes, exactly. So this guy comes up, my knight in shining armor, and he's like, hey, you guys need help finding your seats. And I say, my dude, I am just soaking this in. I said, why am I here? Yeah.
You had so many questions just on that moment right there.
He goes, yeah, man, this is what it is right now. It started 2 years ago in my backyard. He said, I had a vision and this is where it is. And I said, dude, this is probably the coolest thing I'll ever do. Like, be here right now and watch this. So we get our beers, we sit in the seats. He's the founder, the MC. So he comes out on the mic and he's talking, and you'll love this, Greg. He's talking about how the reason he started this is because he moved around a lot. And like, he just liked to have a group of friends that did the same thing. So he fell in love with this, started this in Nashville, started a gym for it, takes 6 months to prepare. And he goes, the other reason I wanted to do this is because I want to be the Green Ranger. He's wearing all green under his armor. And he goes, because the Green Ranger was the lone wolf, but he always yearned for a family and fought for it. And he goes, and none of those people ever thanked the Power Rangers for what they did. So if you want to thank the Knights tonight, you can tip them through a Venmo. I was like, that's really good. I was like, that was really good. So he then goes, this is off script. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be canceled. I can't wait.
Oh,
for
it's
this.
a shoot. It's a shoot.
No. He goes, I came in here and there was a guy standing at the door tonight. And he looked at me and he said, what the fuck is this? And I told him and Andy goes, that's you. I was like, that is me. That is me. And the guy's like, and I just want to thank everyone that came out. Like, this started just from a dream. And then they brought out, so they said, we're going to start at the lowest level exhibition. And by the end of the night, it's going to be the highest level of combat, normal card stuff.
Right.
They wheel out, the first match is probably a guy 5'8", 220. Like,
Is this
short,
Tiki
stocky.
Tiki Shield?
This is Tiki Shield. His name is
Oh my
Cody.
God. Okay.
The Wampa Fruit guy, Ooga Booga, my dad always called him, from Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Across from him, 6'6", 275-pound man in a bow tie. I was so scared for Cody.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. The mountain is what we kept calling him, obviously. At one point, just swung up with a sword, hit the dude so hard that Cody fell, and we were like, he's dead. Like, that is a dead man. All of these fights, there were women fighting, there was ground and pound. The main dude was the last fight before the Battle Royale. He did a full-on somersault because his guy was on the ground. He knocked a guy down and then just ran up and jumped headfirst and did a somersault and landed on his butt on the guy and got up. They called him Nick the Mark. That was the Green Ranger's name. He was Nick the Mark. And he owned it. His wife won the Battle Royale. She was one of the fighters. We had turkey legs in one hand, cores in the other. We're just screaming. We're laying bets for these fights.
Yes, now I'm all the way in, as if I wasn't.
There was one guy who had to be like 55 years old. It was his birthday, and he's fighting, and he's just old. So I just started singing "Happy Birthday," and the crowd sang. It was everything I wanted when I moved to Nashville that I didn't know I wanted.
Were there
starting
streamers?
A crowd chant is top tier.
Streamers?
Yeah. Did anyone throw streamers?
No.
That can be the thing you introduce. Is hand out like paper streamers. And for the title match or the end match, everyone throws them at the same time.
Yeah, that's like a promotion that we used to go to called Ring of Honor. There would be a guy that would sit in the front row that he would call streamer guy. Yeah. And he would like hand out streamers to everyone in the crowd. And when certain guys would come out, everyone would throw streamers into the ring. And when someone would make the entrance or someone would pose, the streamers would just be all over them and stuff.
So
get Nick on the line. Nick the Mark on the line. We got to
The only downside is these guys are using actual maces and swords and they're trying to knock each other out.
Yeah.
Like they're and so if I don't want to, I'm scared of them. I don't want to throw things.
You don't want to throw party streamers.
The mountain was large. I guess the guys in front of us, it was a guy and his significant other. They were all in, so they were helping us know the scoring and like what was happening. Scoring. 2 points to the head, 1 point body, 1 point legs, 3 points for a takedown if you don't go down. Also, 2 points for a takedown if you also go down.
Oh my God, they're scoring.
Well, the one girl was walking around and she had the sword like behind her back, and she was walking like this. And every time the opponent lunged, she'd take a step back and just go bop, bop, bop. And it was like 3, 6, 9. There's 9 points right there, and she would wait.
Brilliant.
Dude, it was crazy. It was so fun. The Battle Royale was hilarious. Everyone tried to attack the big guy, and he just went rah and just launched them.
So the mountain went back in?
So the mountain went back in at the end for the Battle Royale, and him and Nick the Mark fought, and Nick ended up beating him with a hip toss, which like, dude, they move so slow. Like, it's so crazy to see this Nick guy be as fast as he was with 60 pounds of armor on him.
It's insane.
Yeah, that part's impressive, because when you showed me like the video of it, and I'm seeing these guys like wrestle each other and like fight each other with full-grown armor, I'm just thinking to myself, God, like doing that by itself has to be taxing on that and stuff. Now, you answered the part for me that I was curious about with that stuff, because I was going to ask if they were using weapons or not. And then when you said that they did, I was like, oh my God.
So they got to swap out weapons if they wanted to. So first round was swords. Second round was a short axe or a mace, not ball and chain, but just like hard, heavy. Mm-hmm. And then the last round was literal like 4-foot hatchets. Like, and they were crushing each other in the head.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, like someone's going to die.
Josh,
I don't understand legally what I saw.
Yeah. Legally, I'm not sure that this was okay.
You basically saw a combination of a Renaissance festival with an indie show. Is basically what you saw.
Was
you
the
saw
indie
this, like,
darling there?
I hope so. Somewhere in the corner. There was a Barbie box display for some reason in the corner. I feel like that was where he was hanging out.
That was probably his tip jar, I bet. He was probably looking for stuff, was probably waiting to charge people for photos and autographs and stuff. Yeah, which is a total indie thing.
I just can't explain what I went to with a Twitch rep for work.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty great.
Is it here's the part that I'm thrown off about. Like, did you say the Twitch rep is the one that invited you guys to this?
So the reps take the media team out to places. So I've been to a bowling alley / concert. I've been to a ghost tour, and this, like, reps. If you spend a certain amount of money, the reps then come back and boondoggle you, which is a cool thing as the agency. And the media team always gets it because they're the ones that are spending the crazy money to make the the ads go. Yeah, man, it was cool.
That is awesome.
I'll be back. They do it every month. It's a season, so they have total tallies, points, and everything. I guess the mountain, the guy in front of me, I don't know. I'm going to call him Big John. So Big John, I don't know his name. He told me that the national championship long sword fighter, so there's a natty of this, the long sword fighter was in town and fought the mountain. And they said it went to points. Like, it's to the point where if the mountain, like, and he took his armor off, he was huge. He was huge.
Mm-hmm.
It was to the point where, like, if that dude wanted to take it serious, he would overthrow a government.
But it wasn't Thor, right? It wasn't like the actual mountain.
It was not him, but it looked so much like him. It was scary.
When you keep bringing up the bow tie part of it, it makes me think. It makes me think not so much like
it was all black with just a red sparkly bow tie on the front of his chainmail.
It was that literally gave me like Chippendale thoughts. Like, I'm thinking like Chris Farley in like a fucking like Chippendale outfit is what my mind is going towards.
Chris Farley on steroids.
Yes. Well, Chris Farley on.
That's a whole other question.
They don't drug test.
Of course not.
So you can use anything that was around during medieval times.
So no crystal meth.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, there was probably some alchemists in the medieval times
That's what I kept saying stuff. I was like, "Who's your blacksmith?" And the lady in front of us was like, "Actually, it's this guy named Gary. He's really cool." And I was like, "Fuck."
I love it.
The one guy got knocked down, and my buddy Kyle was like, "Take a potion." We had a guy named Paul with 2 turkey legs screaming, "Finish him!" It was. I've never felt more manly.
You know, like, I don't think that's like not enough people know about that shit, because like Nashville is the bachelorette party capital of the fucking world.
That's all I want to do for my bachelor party.
And that would just be the best bachelor party event ever.
Just having turkey legs and Coors Light while watching dudes in armor beat the fuck out of each other. Dude. Yeah, having a blast. Oh my God, it'd be incredible.
I can't explain it. It was the best night of my life.
Yeah, it sounds tight.
Who would have thought in Nashville of all places? That's incredible. Listen, you sold me in every single way possible. First, you had me as soon as you walk in and you described to me what is literally every indie wrestling show I've ever been to. So that
I understood your guys' love for indie shows at that moment. I was like, this is intimate. This is cool. This is fun. Like, before I even saw a night.
Yeah.
Yeah. You dragged me in, then you tickled at my heartstrings with the guy who's the owner, who was inspired by the Green Ranger,
baby.
That, like, if that doesn't like get me like emotionally attached, then nothing will at this point. So then you're adding all the fun
I was like,
things.
Greg needs to see this shit.
Then you're just like then you have like everything I love basically mixed together. So I'm just like, I'm jealous. I'm extremely jealous at this
Ping
point.
was very mad at me because my story ended before the fight. So like I would always do the warm. Yeah, a lot of people apparently were.
Well, here's the thing: you can't be posting spoilers. That's the problem.
It's not
if
even
you
that,
do
Greg.
that, then you're ruining it.
Every time I was recording a video, the thought went through my head: this would be so much more enjoyable if I just watched it. Like, every time. And I can't even, like, I was like, Ty, I'm sorry. I sent him videos that a buddy sent me. I was like, here's the actual fighting. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm recording and he goes, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm ready." Like, yeah, yes. Like, I'm so ready. It was crazy.
No, it's like if you're at a specific game or something. Like, if I'm at if I'm at a basketball game or something and I'm emotionally invested in something, like I'm not gonna have my phone out the entire time watching it. So like, because I'm literally just gonna be like dead set on what is happening, and I'm like emotionally invested in it. So yeah, I feel that completely.
Good. All right, you guys want to do the show?
No.
No.
I want to watch more Knights fighting.
Dude, it's
I'm telling you, man, get in on the ground level of this. Help this thing expand. There is something to be said for MMMA being a national thing. Just saying.
No, it is a national thing. It's just it's I feel like I'm looking at a sport like cornhole that's about to blow up. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt there.
Yeah.
Josh would be in the ring with that stash he has currently. Shout out Bueno. What's up, buddy?
I don't know.
No,
I've never
no.
want to fight in my life.
What is the closest thing to a manager in medieval times? Seriously.
Oh well, yeah, it's a jester.
A manager?
Like think about like a Knight's Tale. He would go and he'd be like, and he'd do the little spiel for.
Paul
I feel like he's a promoter.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
He was a criminal, really.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Like Paul Bettany's character. Like he's just like he's hyping the crowd up. He's getting them invested. Like he's introducing his guy and stuff.
I think he says he's a poet, but really he's a jester or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see Josh doing that, being like the guy that hypes up the mountain and stuff like that, gets the crowd invested. Maybe even like he'd be the mouthpiece for the Black Knight.
Who's the Brock Lesnar guy?
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, is that who you're describing?
The advocate. Yeah. He'd be an advocate. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I also watched I think you guys enjoy this on TikTok. I get down those rabbit holes of like part 7. I watched a recap of the documentary talking about Hogan going Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never knew the story. Like never looked it up, never really dove in. Super. They were like, we didn't know if he was coming out. Super.
Oh yeah, it was day of. Like he had to like be away from the arena entirely because he was like there were legit people nervous that he wasn't going to go through with it.
Crazy. All right, let's have a good show.
All right. Speaking of ripping out hearts, Jon Rham rips out Max Homa's heart.
Ha!
Greg's been talking about Jon Rham since we've been alive, I feel like.
I just love Jon Rham. Ever since I saw him like golf in that goofy fucking hat and then him just absolutely own people on the golf course. He is everything that I wanted Brooks Koepka to be.
Go on.
Literally everything. Brooks Koepka gets up only for the U.S. Open. Well, and his wife, but that's different. But he literally only gets up for the U.S. Open, and that's it. Everything else is just like nah, whatever. I can make do with it after the time. If it's only the U.S. Open, Jon Rham is basically that for everything.
Yeah, but he hasn't. What has he won? What is Jon Rham? I mean, you can't tell me he's gotten up in the morning. Has he won a major yet? Am I crazy?
I gotta think back on this. I can't 100% confirm this. I'm at least grateful that he won a new like premier event for the PGA, finally giving money for the Genesis Open.
Okay,
stuff.
Great. Hey, Josh, get this. Jon Rahm's one major is the
US
2021
Open.
U.S. Open.
But Koepka's got 2, so that's what I'm referring to.
But he's won the Ben Hogan Award twice, so you got that going for you.
That ain't the Hulk Hogan Award. I think Jon Rham is just, he just gets up for the U.S. Open, so.
He's not Brooks Koepka. Come on.
He's only won one major, and it's the U.S. Open. And you just went on a rant about how he is Brooks Koepka, except Brooks Koepka only plays well at the Open, when Jon Rham literally has only played well on a major level at the Open.
Hey,
no.
That's not true. That's not true. The European Tour, he has won twice, okay? So he likes U.S. Open and the European Tour.
Yeah, so things that matter, he's only won once.
Yeah.
Jon Rahm's actually been competitive, though, in most of the major tournaments, though. Koepka only wins the U.S. Open, and then after that, it's barely anything.
Well, let's look at the 2022 Masters standings.
Let's see what
Greg, I just
Koepka
don't think you're correct. I just don't think you're right. You know what I mean?
By the way, it was actually announced today that Live players are officially going to play in all 4 majors this year. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Cool.
So I am getting Koepka again. For
Greg,
all 4 majors,
you're really struggling here, man. Brooks Koepka finished 2nd at the Masters in 2019. He won the PGA Championship in 18 and 19. He won the U.S. Open in 17 and 18. And in the Open Championship, he tied for 4th in 2019.
That was a really weird. You say a lot of stuff you're confident in, Greg. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
I just get so excited about Jon Rham that therefore my mind just starts to like splutter. Apparently,
But the only major he's won is what you just ripped Koepka for only being good at, and he's been good at other stuff, and Rham has not been.
What was this?
I don't know.
20.
I get excited.
Hold on, Josh. Let me ask, Greg. Would you like a breakfast ball?
No, it's a golf joke. Get it?
Do you want to start over?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good with owning
How
this.
about this? Do you know who Brooks Koepka fucking lost to in 2019?
Was it Jon Rham?
Nope.
Nerd. Who was it?
It was Tiger on his way to his 5th fucking jacket.
That was a good one.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
So I mean, like, he probably could have won, but Tiger was being fucking Tiger that day, so forget it.
Well, yeah. Tiger basically had the world like with him that day, essentially. Yeah, that was the one that we. I think that was the first time we actually realized that. Oh my God, Tiger's actually like fully back at that point.
Yeah. So, anyways, Jon Rham rips out the heart of. Do you like him, Josh? Max Homa?
Well, as the Pardon My Take stan on this podcast, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
He's hilarious. Also,
he's dope.
Brooks Koepka tied with DeChambeau in 2019 for second too. So it's just really 2019 Masters was fucking lit.
Oh, dude, the Masters is the best tournament. I think the Masters. I understand March Madness, but I think for me, the Masters is the best 4 days in sports. Like, I love it.
That's tough.
It is. It really is, and it's unfair.
Would the Masters be like the last like, or would it be the like dream sports like destination that you would want to go to, like at least one time in your life?
Yeah, for me it is, because if you look at any NASCAR takes too long. The Super Bowls cost too much money. I just hate it. NBA Finals, the fact that they go back and forth on the games, like you just pick a game, right?
Yeah, sit down somewhere.
You look at, I don't know, baseball I think would be fun, but again, it back and forth and all that stuff. For me, the Masters is so amazing because you can go watch one hole and see every golfer hit it, or follow one golfer and watch it. I saw a quote the other day that was like, the reason that golf is so much better than every other sport is because in every other sport, you get the 1%ers that are up there doing elite things. And it's very rare for a guy to do one thing and then be elite. Anybody, even the amateurs, can win the Masters. Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
You can get up in the morning. I mean, we saw with Danny Willett. Danny Willett was just always kind of there. And then Jordan Spieth choked, right? But Willett was great. Golf is the one sport where, like, as long as you're in the tournament, you can win it. And obviously there's favorites, but like DJ hasn't won in forever. Like we look at Rham. Rham is consistently one of the top golfers in the world. One major. Brooks. Yeah, these guys, like, it's not a guarantee they're the winners.
That's fair. And the way I think about it too with the Masters too, what I appreciate about it is that the one thing, I don't know if you saw that, but like they're the only place that like time almost kind of like hasn't really changed it. Like they still have kind of kept the same prices for stuff. Like they still give like the same snacks that they did like in the 50s and stuff. So it's almost kind of like this one little event that will never ever like deter in anything, that will never get like any like, I don't know, like any type of like modernization to go within stuff. Like they'll change holes or something. They'll like make it more difficult or something like that. But yeah, golf, what makes it unique in that sense is like you can do everything you possibly can to like enhance your swing. You can do like have different clubs and all that stuff. But for the most part, anyone can win on any given day. Like everyone's playing the same course. Everyone's dealing with the same, weather. Everyone's dealing with all that. It's you versus the course. That's it.
Bueno wrote in next as if he wants to skip this topic. Bueno, there's not a single Cleveland topic, so just hang tight, buddy.
I have a question.
Just ain't, man.
Go ahead, bud.
Is the only reason that Max Homa and Jon Rham were even in the spot they were in this weekend is because the live golfers weren't there?
No. Max
No,
Homa's
I
good.
wouldn't say that.
I don't know, man. He didn't make the cut a lot of the times last year. Now all of a sudden the live golfers are out and he's up there competing for finishes.
Well, I think so. I want to, you go, Greg, because I want to pull up a graphic.
Okay.
The thing I would like to argue with this one though, Josh, is that this tournament in general, this was one of, I think either the first or the second one in terms of like PGA's like, like new thing to kind of combat live, which was like the ones that like they enhanced the prize money on this one. Like I know like the Phoenix Open, like the Waste Management one was the first one, which I saw. I can't remember who won it this year, but like he won it the previous year. His prize money from year over year doubled, just from winning it. So like same thing with this one was like there's
Yeah.
more guys that are playing in this tournament and more guys that are of like PGA caliber and like top tier level of guys that are still in the PGA. So because of the fact that money's now bigger and stuff, so you're gonna have a much more deal than usual, I think.
Okay. I was just curious because I just know Max Homa was like a name because he was funny on Twitter and he was big on Part of My Take, and then all of a sudden he's like constantly competing for wins, and I'm like, it used to be that Max Homa only won when the big boys didn't play, and now that the big boys aren't playing, he's in the mix.
Yeah. I mean, that's something to do with it, but at the same time, like we were just saying, anybody can magically come up and win any event in golf. So it just depends if you got up in the morning.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even if certain guys aren't playing it anymore, I mean, there's still a great pipeline of young talent still coming into the PGA Tour every single year, I feel like, and there's still some well-established guys that are still playing now for that fact. So
yeah, it's just go ahead.
I get what you're saying with regards to that. That like, yeah, like some of the big guys like aren't there anymore and stuff. Like Koepka, like DJ, like DeChambeau, like Cam Smith and stuff like that. But in the end, though, like the PGA Tour for me, even if you're losing some guys, there's other guys that are going to be coming up and stuff and getting there. Like it's like that gold standard type thing where it's an established brand. Going to the Live is something that is still like brand new and it's uncharted territory and stuff like that. Like it's going to take a while before guys eventually like even consider something like that. It's going to be a while before like college guys go there and stuff. So I think you're always going to be tested with.
I think the name to think about in this situation, Josh, for me is Jim Kelly. When Jim Kelly decided to skip the NFL, the USFL was a functioning, paying entity that was a household name at different time, right? For Live right now, they ride excessively off name value. If they didn't take Brooks, Bryson, DJ, these guys, Phil, no one gives a fuck about the Live Tour. But because they got names and because they shelled out money, they get it. So the Live is not going to take the best college golfer. Like the next Jordan Spieth is not going to jump to the Live. They're going to go PGA. To join the Live, you have to already be established and you'll get your bag. That's where it's like guys like Max Homa are going to benefit. Max Homa's a good golfer. He's a great golfer. But he's going to benefit from some of those guys. But like we just said, all of the guys on the Live Tour could have shown up this past weekend and shit the bed and had a bad weekend. I mean, last Masters, Brooks got cut on day 2, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like there's just so many variables in golf. I think it's a good question, but it's tough.
Josh, I would also say too, I would imagine that how he performs at the majors will probably go a long way to validate his case for being like as good as he is because of the fact that all of these guys are going to be playing in it now too. So if you look at Masters Sunday and see if he makes it to the final day, I think that's a great way to validate Homa as like a up and coming guy.
Yeah, because Jon Rham was a name, right, who was winning pretty consistently before COVID, and then like Colin Morikawa was a
just
big
the
rising star.
Open, Josh.
Right, that's right. But Colin Morikawa was a big rising star, and Max Homa was kind of just like a nobody, and then like now he's a somebody because there's a lot less somebodies on the PGA Tour.
But Small says gutted for Max, so he's a big Max guy as well. Yeah, you're not wrong, Josh. I mean, when you remove any talent pool, it's going to open up stuff. But at the same time, I do think PGA is still somewhat top heavy, which is good. I mean, they're deep, but they still have big names. I mean, we can't act like they don't. So,
how did Tiger do?
What did he do, Greg? Do you remember?
Well, he barely made the cut. I know that for sure.
He finished +2. So it looks like he played the whole weekend, which is good.
I love that he was playing. I believe he was playing with Rory and
I know
and Spieth.
He finished 1 under. He hit round 4 +2.
No, he was playing with not TJ.
Smalls brings up a good point. Homa was up and coming regardless of who left. So I do think there's something to be said about the fact that he was already going to be there. But Josh, you're still not wrong. Like if you remove Michael Jordan from the Bulls, someone else is going to be the best player in the league. So.
Tiger Woods finished 45th, tied for 45th.
Okay. Well, I think the important thing with that one is also the fact too that even he made the final cut first off, because I didn't realize how long it had been since he golfed. It had been 6 months since he last played, and I think the last time he played was the British Open, I believe, if I remember correctly. Unless he played a different major that I wasn't thinking of at the time. But But the fact that he hadn't played in 6 months, he was walking around, he still had a noticeable limp, unfortunately, which is just it's something that I think we're going to have to get used to now that like Tiger's just going to be in that situation where I don't know if he'll ever fully truly be healthy at that point. But I think the fact that like he was still competing and he was still out there and still like getting eyeballs that were much needed in that case for him, I think that's a huge sign. And I think, frankly, if he doesn't play again until the Masters, I'm totally cool with it. Or what he'll usually do is I think he'll usually play like one more tournament. He'll play like a WGC event, like maybe a month or a couple weeks before the Masters, just to get himself ready, get himself started, and then go with it at that case. But the fact that he was moving around and at least competed and made it to the final day is big news for him, I think.
He played with Justin Thomas this weekend and I only knew that because of the tampon thing. Got everybody all wound up.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was funny. Like I think people were getting.
Greg,
like,
you can't think it's funny unless you want to get canceled.
I think it's hilarious. NBA rigged. Blessings to you three gentlemen. Josh, Deke, Greg, thrilled to be live here with you, Stellar on Earth. Smalls, just incredible the Tigers playing again, especially as NBA. Good to see you, buddy. Smalls agreed. I just found out that Phil Mickelson might be my favorite Twitter follow. I'm trying to find this graphic that just shows the golfers, PGA versus Live. Oh. I can't find it right now. But anyways, somebody tweeted at him. So he tweeted out basically being like, no, Live would destroy PGA. And someone said Live has 6 of the top 100 golfers. So the PGA Tour is the other 94. Phil said that's a good one. It's probably because head of golf's governing bodies run the OWGR, which is the golf rankings, have excluded Live players from getting points. Someone else tagged Rory, Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler, and Max Homa and said, I think these guys would have something to say about this. Phil then said back and said, they do seem to talk a lot.
Woo!
My lefty.
I love it.
Phil.
Big
love
jam,
Phil,
baby.
Man. Yeah, dude, he's so sick.
Listen, if we ever had a chance for like an all-star type event and stuff, because here's the thing. I would like to point out that when the NBA and the ABA were still at odds in the 70s, their champions still played each other in like whether it be exhibition or like some of their other teams played each other and stuff. If they could find a way to make that work in some way, I'd be all for it. Like if they did a match of like teams of Live versus PGA.
That what is it? The credit card company, Capital One. Know they're going to do the match of that.
Yeah, I mean the match isn't like tied to. I don't think the match is tied to PGA at all.
No, God, no. It's tied to Bleacher Report, if anything.
Yeah. So, because it's Turner Sports. So, like, yeah, if they could do that and stuff, oh my God, that would be so cool. You could literally have a Ryder Cup-esque level event every single year just based on organizations playing each other.
Okay, cool. Josh, I'm going to say this question's for you. Question, have any of you tried Labatt Blue beer before? If so, how do you like them? Josh is the resident hockey guy.
Well, back in my day, we used to suck down quite a bit of the Labatt Blues every time. We'd watch the Penguins and
with your pot of gold.
I don't know where the accent's going. It's on a ride. I can't control it.
She's giving it all she's got, Captain.
Oh my God.
I love Labatt. I remember drinking it for the first time at a Slippery Rock party, and I was like, this is the best beer ever.
I love Labatt too. Josh surprised me when I remember I brought like a case of Labatt Blue Light to the studio one day, and he was just like, meh about it. I was thrown off by it, actually.
Josh, really? It was Labatt Blue Light.
Oh. What's wrong with Labatt Blue Light?
Why do you need to make Labatt Blue Light?
Yeah, it's a light beer already, Greg. That's like making a Coors Light.
What? Excuse me for getting something that was on sale. My bad.
Yeah, that's where we differ. I bought the nice beer for the studio, and you bought whatever was on fucking sale.
Hey, I have nothing wrong with drinking Labatt Blue Light all the time if I could.
Greg comes in with Zima that expired in 2009.
Honey, put down your Zima.
Cheers to Labatt Blue. Bottoms up. One sip of drink. Chilled. Cheers on screen. NBA, I'll cheers you. These guys aren't drinking because they are having cramps. Let's Labatt Blue, the beer of pirates with British accents. Matey. Yeah, Tiger Woods is back. So good topic, guys.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Okay, next topic.
Wait, one question before we switch from Tiger. Is there something better in sports than Tiger wearing red on Sunday?
No.
No, not. I can't think of anything because business is about to pick up.
Well, and I guess what I'm asking is not just in general, but like ceremonial stuff. Like LeBron's chalk throw is very cool. Tebowing is a thing. I think Tiger wearing red is a symbol. Like you know what I mean? Who used to headbutt was it Chris Paul that headbutts the under the net? No, Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph used to do that. I remember. You got me thinking now, because in terms of like ceremonial or like,
yeah,
I don't want to call
it's a superstitious type of, it's a thing.
That's where I was leaning towards. Yeah, I don't want to say superstitious, but it's just like something that they do to like get the crowd going or something that like, gets people to notice or gets people excited or something like that. I know what you mean. Or like a one that's like not known as like Marshawn Lynch taking a shot of Hennessy before a game or something like that. Like I find that amazing.
That may win, to be fair. That may win, yeah.
Yeah. Or Skittles, like after he scores a touchdown.
Dak Prescott texting his mother that passed away before every game. That's a big one.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I think it was his mother.
Awesome.
I think his mother passed away, and so he sends her a text before every game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I despise the day when someone gets that number from Verizon.
Yeah.
That's always a weird feeling.
I don't know if this is the same, but and I think this is probably only like a diehard Penguins fan thing. But when Tanger, Sid, and Gino go out,
yes,
because like when one of them's not there, they leave the space for the other one. And like Tanger and Fleury used to have the high five thing.
Yep.
And
that was I was thinking of that too, because is it Gino that comes out last?
Yeah. Because he played 1 year professional in Russia.
I shoot the puck goal.
Yeah.
Sid said the Ray Lewis hype dance.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when it was Russ and Cameron Payne dancing before Thunder's games? They had their handshake dance. That was forever ago.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Wow. I guess right now Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman are doing the hug after every Bruins win.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, the fucking the war clap in Carolina, the bunch of jerks thing. The storm surge.
Oh,
remember when they go around in the circle and they do the clap and a goofy celebration after every regular season win?
Yeah, that they still do it. And then
I thought you were saying the Vikings skull chant for a second. I got you.
That too. But
yeah.
But like the bunch of jerks thing is like because after every win they always have a unique different celebration for it too, which is crazy to think about in that case. But yeah,
Gritty being naked. I
was gonna say, does baseball have any that are worth a shit?
Well, that would be one.
That's
Ravana, go ahead, Greg.
Mariano Rivera coming out Tender Sandman. Yeah. Obviously, like when the Cubs win, like they do the "Go Cubs Go." Hey Chicago, what do you say?
Right.
The Cubs are going. Yeah, that's like the.
How's that song finish though, Greg?
I don't know. I like butchered the last part of it.
Hulk Hogan wearing a yellow T-shirt, ripping it off. The gold standard of sports, NBA Rig says.
You're damn right. It's the gold standard of America.
I see your Hulk Hogan and I raise you Stone Cold.
That's a good one. I like Triple H going
spit in the water.
Yeah. Or suck it.
Yeah, I don't think because like I think wrestling's hard, right? Because that stuff's incorporated.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Undertaker turning on the lights when like his hands raised and stuff.
It's a show.
Yeah.
NBA said, Josh, the clap dance is famous from Iceland World Cup. I know that this came from then. I didn't know if the dance did too, but that's sick.
I think too. I thought, and it's dumb, but I like that LeBron wore the headband when he broke the record.
Headband LeBron's cool.
That was cool.
He should have wore glasses.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Okay. The rec specs, like the goofy ones. Oh, that would have been amazing.
Josh, do we have a commercial today?
Yeah, we can take one.
Is it okay? Cool. We don't. We got 10 minutes before it, so do we have something we can fill that time with?
Yeah, let's do real quick, Greg. Why do you hate Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, idiot.
Because I didn't think a two-way player could actually work, and I'm had my words eaten at me, and Derrik likes to remind me about it all the time. So therefore, here I am, just eating my words, and now I'm realizing a dude's about to make $500 million in baseball.
Yeah, so he's the greatest player ever. Yeah, so
yeah, and here's the part that throws me off about it is that if you are doing just guaranteed money based on one position, like Mike Trout, I think was the first one to ever hit 300 million as a position player. Pitchers are the ones that easily make close to that if you're really, really fucking good. So like DeGrom got 200 mil in the offseason. Like Verlander could get 300 mil if he wanted to. Scherzer could get 300 mil if they want to. You take the combined of those two and put them together. Shohei Ohtani, like no one's going to give him 600 mil. I mean, God forbid I could see Texas Rangers doing something crazy like that, but like 500 mil is not out of the record.
Well,
and that's the part that blows my mind.
Where's he stand in terms of, so let's do this and both of you please, because you both are more baseball knowledge in terms of a hitter, top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20, top 25, top 30. Where's he sit there?
All time or in the league?
In league right now.
Okay.
I would say
all time
hitter.
He's number 1, but where's he?
So hitter's interesting. So in terms of like normal like batting average and stuff, like it's not that much. I think he's like 240, 250. Okay. It's the advanced stuff that like gets him. Like he'll average like 30, 40 home runs. Like his OPS will be like in the 900s and stuff like that, which is absurd for a baseball player like that.
I mean, he's top 50, which is a very easy thing to say.
Right.
He's probably top 30.
Yeah, he won't consistently like get a hit, but like when he hits, like he crushes the thing. So then that's the idea.
So top 30 hitter. Fair. That's pitching.
Fair.
So he's
pitching
10th,
is interesting.
Sorry, he's 10th in OPS
please.
right now.
Yeah, which is
as of last year.
So top 30 feels like a safe. Everyone would agree on that.
Slugger rating, he's also at 10.
It's the average that's like the kind of the lower one, I believe. But
yeah, he's not in the top 25.
Well, isn't Judge batting average like 290 or something?
Yeah,
Doesn't he have
neither is Aaron Judge. Freddie Freeman and Jeff McNeil are the top 2.
Who okay, so pitching.
Okay.
Top 5, top 10, top 15.
Pitching's another interesting one too, because last year was probably the best he ever like had in terms of pitching from his career so far.
Yeah. Is it career in America, or you're saying career so far is also in Japan?
No, I'd say America. I'm not familiar with how good he was in Japan, like stats wise and stuff. Okay. Like obviously his numbers are going to be inflated in Japan just because.
I always throw gas at a plumber.
Well, I always ask that question because technically Ichiro is the greatest hitter ever if you do his career, right? Yeah.
Oh, so
I always like to know. I'm like, was he good over there? Was he just a guy? Like,
I mean, even if you take
all I know is they have that sword.
Yeah.
Their trophy.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's the size of the guy's sword from medieval MMA.
Oh my god.
Now that's fucking terrifying right now. But I would say, but even if you take like the hits out, Ichiro is probably a top 5 hitter of all time. So like I'm not gonna disparage that in any way. Pitching wise, I give him credit because pitching wise, that was the best that he's had in America so far. He had a couple clunkers in the middle of the year, but like he was consistent for the most part. He was striking dudes out pretty well.
Top 20 pitcher in Japan. Thoughts?
Very ballsy.
Sure, why not?
I have nothing to disprove that. Right. I have nothing to disprove it other than I know he's never been to Japan.
Okay. I think you're throwing like a lot of shade at the Japanese baseball league, and some of these guys are actually really good.
What I'm trying to get at, Greg, is so we look at a top. Is it safe to say? So is he a starter, reliever, middle? He's a starting pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Top 15.
Starting pitcher, yeah. I would say
top 10.
He's top 10. So,
and I'm talking just pitching, not like top 10. Oh yeah, we want him for the hitting. Like, what I'm trying to get to is like you're looking at a top 30 hitter, which is fair, and a top 10 pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be the craziest anomaly in sports. That is the Steph Curry of his sport. Like you just can do stuff and make advantages that other people flat out cannot.
Well, when you're talking about too, with regards to a guy that's now changing the way you now think, that's fair because Steph basically changed how teams look at offense now. Like
Yep.
there's a reason why like the Rockets like spent a year trying to come up with a team that just shot threes in the G League. So there's something to be said for that. It's a new way of thinking. I mean, nowadays there's actually not a lot of teams have done it, but so far there's actually been kind of a push for guys that are drafted in Major League Baseball. They're not willing to necessarily make a guy only stick to one position now. Like if you succeeded on both sides of the ball in college or high school, they're more willing to actually let you try to play it out to see. And if you excel in one versus the other, then they'll lean towards it. But if you're consistently doing both at the same time, like there's a real kind of willingness to keep it going. Whereas beforehand, before Shohei, there was never that. No. I couldn't even tell you the last time anyone did something close to that.
I've seen pitchers be a bust and go to the field or vice versa, but never at the same time.
Yeah.
Derrik, to back you up, Shohei's whip, he's 12th. He's 10th in average. His ERA, he's 6th, and he had 15 wins last year. That's a top 10 fucking pitcher.
Yeah. So top 10, top 30, and I think the 30 is generous. Curry cannot even lick air close to Ohtani's level of stardom and dominance. NBA, I'm going to say this sentence. Steph Curry's bigger in Asia than Shohei Ohtani is.
That's saying a lot for a guy with the name
that's
NBA
how
ring, by the way.
That's what I think. I think Steph Curry right now is a more known entity than Shohei Ohtani in Asia because of how big the NBA is in China.
Oh yeah, even with like any like whatever political stuff, like that cancellation they had previously and stuff, the NBA is still huge in China. So I think, like,
go ahead, keep going, Greg.
No, so yeah, like there's no way. Like Steph Curry, even if you take out China, is a global like entity in that case. Like Shohei, yes, like in terms of America, obviously, like in terms of countries that love baseball, obviously, and stuff like that. But the NBA is just a global game at this point.
Sid brings up kind of an interesting point. So in the similar vein to Steph Curry, I think it'll take time, but it'll eventually lead to young kids wanting to be two-way players and coaches entertaining it. Dude, kids look at Trae Young and be like, I can do that. Like I can't be Dwight Howard. I can't be LeBron James. Can I be a 6'2" guard that jacks up threes? Yeah, I can do that. I think that people will want to do that same type of thing. Curry is more well known because he played 10 plus years. Ohtani will surpass him over time. I just think baseball's lame in terms of the grand scheme of life NBA. So that's my POV on it, but I don't disagree.
Well, Deke, here's kind of like the funny thing too, is like, if you think about it, at some point in their lives, like whoever is playing in Major League Baseball, like regardless of if you like played Little League or if you like were growing up in the Dominican or international and stuff, you pitched at least one time in your life, because odds are they were the best players on their team, and odds are they pitched. It didn't
always
regardless
happen.
of even if like you only threw fastballs or stuff like that, or didn't have any breaking stuff to save your life or anything like that, everyone pitched at least at one point in their life. It's just you kind of get to a certain point where you realize, okay, what can I do well and what can I do okay at, and what should I focus most of my time on? Because when you're in baseball and stuff, the logic is focus what you are good at and then make that the thing that carries you moving forward. It's rare that you see guys do anything close to that. So now, and I even like read up on stuff with regards to the draft now, is that some guys like who are two-way players in college might get looked at now for the fact that like they are dominant on the mound, but they're still everyday guys that can like hit for power if they want to. So teams might be willing to give them that look.
Derrik,
who's a better? Go.
How
Who's a
tall
better
do you
talent,
think?
Ote or Curry?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Answer in 2 seconds, Justin. That was NBA's question. I just wanted to ask you that.
I will say Shohei. And I don't feel good about that, but I will say
it's a good question. I think it's a good question. What were you going to say, Josh?
How tall do you think Shohei Ohtani is?
Oh, he's a mountain of a man.
So I know Judge is, I want to say 6'7".
Big Aaron Judge is.
Yeah, Judge is, see if I'm right on that first.
Judge is definitely tall.
6'7".
I know that.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, my guess would be 6'3".
He's 6'4".
Okay, so not terribly off. Yeah,
and you know, like, because I think part of and what made me look that up was the Trae Young comment.
Yeah,
because I do think you need to be 6'4" to be able to hurl it and then also create.
I agree, but also it's like you look at like what Greg was saying is, and this is the point that I should have brought up when I said that, but I didn't even think of it. The best player is always the pitcher at some point. Right. Like it's like, it's the coach's kid. He's just good. He's gonna whip it past you. But yeah, I do think it takes. I mean, you ain't gonna be 5'8" out there cranking 40 homers and throwing heaters 98 miles per hour. So
no, as much as Francisco Cervelli may have hoped. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. That's my thing. That's better than Tiger on Sunday is PNC Park singing "That's Amore."
That's Amore.
All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Two Beers Deep.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Vault, the weekly show from Thoughts from the Bench that takes a look back at some of the best and worst sports jerseys of all time.
So, I looked up what a Canuck was. Ben, you're gonna shit yourself. What a fucking silly country.
Here comes the Crimson Chin.
No. You sound like the John Candy in a fucking snapshot.
That's Uncle Buck.
I have an irrational fear of alligators and crocodiles. I hate them.
What? Of like, okay, this school who looks like they're in High School Musical just came and balled out. So yeah, they're not drinking Gatorade or water on the sidelines. They just got bottles of Barbicide and they're just fucking tanking them down, dude. Like that guy who's nodding his head. Okay, where's the keg at? You know, like that type of guy.
Yeah.
Like
he's a glue guy. He's a glue guy.
Okay, he's a glue guy.
I want to show off the human goose that is Mike Lennon.
Oh my god, he is a goose.
They're like mom jeans with the elastic on top. Like, I don't...
I'm okay. I'm okay. He's a man of the people. He's in with the students at games and sporting events. He's posing with the frat boys. He's getting pumped up, literally and metaphorically speaking, for every event. He is Dartmouth.
What?
That was really funny.
Football's the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell.
JJ Watt, bring it on over, pal. Bring it on over. Golgi apparatus, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum. I'm just naming off science shit now.
Every school, Greg, that has a rodeo.
Yeah, do you want to get into it? I mean, we
inferior.
can real quick.
I met a guy that trains the horses.
Did you?
Was it the people? No.
Oh, yeah. Fernando trains the people.
Fernando trains the people.
Fernando?
Or no, Josh Little. Josh Little does.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was the other guy, because Fernando. God, do I remember Fernando? What a guy.
Yeah.
With a name like Fernando, how can you not? I mean, there's only so many Fernandos in the world.
What is the top of the screen right now?
What are we talking about?
Such good shit, pal.
Oh, well, because I was going to get into XFL when we came back, but then we jumped into rodeo.
Whose sentence was that?
It's a Vince McMahon line.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So
I thought I thought Greg like texted that to you or something. I was
No,
like, I was
well,
gonna combat it fairly heavy.
there's a wrestling podcast I listen to and stuff where like when the guy likes to reference McMahon, he likes to say something that McMahon likes to say a lot to guys, and he says it in the voice, "That shot's good shit, pal."
Fair.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So yeah.
Okay,
But
so
no,
go ahead. All right, so
but I was like,
go ahead. You talk.
all right. But I was like legit
this
curious.
soberness is pissing me off.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're both too
We're
attentive.
we are not like if I'm drunk right now, then like I would just be stumbling over everything.
It's
and stuff, and I
easier
wouldn't
to
give a
jump
fuck,
in when someone's finishing a sentence drinking, because right now you guys are
Why
both just
is
like,
that?
because you're on your shit, whereas otherwise, like, you'll say something, Greg, and then there'll be a second of pause while everyone collects their thoughts. Now you guys are just both Energizer bunnies, excited to talk for some reason.
But I'm excited when I'm drinking too, though, in fairness. I'm just excited to do this show. That's just how I am, regardless of if I'm drunk or sober.
I hate them. Josh, go ahead.
Casper College, Central Wyoming College, Sheridan College, Colorado State, which is our rivals in everything.
Bastards.
Eastern Wyoming, Gillette College, Laramie County College, which is not in Laramie, it's in Cheyenne. Northeastern Junior, Otor Junior, Sheridan College, and the University of Wyoming.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a large conference, actually. I'm kind of thrown off by that.
It
yeah.
is a large conference, but it's I think the only Power 5 rodeo conference is the Big 12.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
That absolutely would make sense. Like the Texas, Oklahoma
Right.
States, and all that round. Yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
yeah, shout out UW rodeo.
Let's dive into I forget what the fuck XFL.
XFL.
I was like, oh, I can do it. So
You gotta say it with like fervor. You know, like how Vince McMahon introduced it. This is the XFL.
I'm more of a Dwayne the Rock Johnson guy.
Fair enough. His speech at like the beginning of like.
Yeah, I gotta say it.
Go ahead.
I'm so fucking over secondary leagues.
Yeah.
They all suck. Now
Never
the Battlehawks
Never die.
the Battlehawks when down by 15 or whatever it was, and that
with a minute left or
it
whatever.
was cool, but it feels like high school. I don't care at all.
Okay.
It's just because you went to Kiski.
Yeah, our team sucked.
By the way, shout out to Ben for being the new head coach at Kiski.
Yes.
Shout out to him for that. Okay. I understand in terms of the quality of play is probably not the best. I understand a lot of these guys are either practice squad guys or guys who have been out of the league for a long time and stuff like that. But it's still fun to just kind of see stuff and see it be thrown at the wall and see if stuff works or sticks. Like the two rules that I love that the XFL does that are completely different. One, I love the kickoff rule. Having guys that stand like 10 yards apart instead of like full on apart that like collide at that point, and you cannot move until the ball is caught. Because I think that creates more of an opportunity for kickoff returns to occur because you have guys like so close to you now that if you get past, you're done. And then the other one I love is the extra point rule where you go by a certain yard line, it's either 1, 2, or 3 points. Because you can keep scoring at that point and still be within the game. And I love that.
I like two rules you did not name, and that is the onside kick rule, which is a 4th and 15 on your own 25, and the punt rule. If a punt goes out of bounds on the sideline, you get the ball where the punt was taken. So Marquette King, so keep it in bounds. They're trying to get, to Greg's point, they're trying to score points. They don't want you to kick it out of bounds to stop the play. They want you to catch the ball and run up the field. My issue, man, is like the first time all these iterations with the, what was it, the AAFL or whatever, the AFL.
Are you talking about like back in the 60s when it was the American Football League and stuff?
No, what was the one that just came out like 3 years ago?
Oh, the Alliance of American Football.
Thank you,
that ended after like 5 weeks because they ran out of money and it was crazy. Which backstory about that? They sold the majority of the league to the guy who now owns the Hurricanes, and he accumulated even more debt because it only lasted a week under his ownership, and then he just completely axed it because it was costing him too much money.
But to me, the reason that the AAFL worked in a sense was names that we saw in the pros, names that we liked coming out of college. There was Murray, the quarterback at Georgia, was there, like stuff like that. Kid out of Miami, blah, blah, blah. The XFL has some names: AJ McCarron, Benedenucci, Martavis Bryant, Josh Gordon. I get it, man, but like
Brian Hill.
I'm just so was Brian Hill? Is that Wyoming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wyoming.
But wasn't Brian Hill the Atlanta Falcons running back for like 2 seconds 3 years ago or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yep, that's him.
You went to Wyoming? No shit, I liked him.
Yeah.
For me, it lacks everything that makes me want to watch. It's a fun, I'm going to sit on my couch and drink beer and do nothing today, let's put it on thing. I just genuinely am so exhausted by all of these secondary leagues.
So I think the logic is obviously people have been trying to find this magic formula for the longest time about a spring league, because the idea is that you can never have too much, because the logic is people see how popular the NFL is and how much money it produces and how much it generates and stuff. And we're like, the NFL is only, in the grand scheme of things, 4 or 5 months of the year. Like you have the majority of the year that has no football, even though we technically could make NFL like year-round stuff if we wanted to.
Greg, have you ever watched a G League game?
Yes. Shout out Drake Jeffries.
That's why I didn't ask you. I knew you would talk about
I think I watched like an Ignite game like a couple
Okay,
years
so
back
no.
when that
So,
when that first
no, it
announced.
was just
But
fun.
I don't recall. Yeah, I don't.
Have you
recall,
ever
like-
watched a WNBA game?
I have. Yeah.
Give me the score.
I don't fucking remember the score. Off the
Exactly.
top of
So
my
you
head.
haven't. My point is, sports are in a finite amount of time because we need to miss something. Stop trying to fill my missing football time with football. Because
I'm
if
busy
you
missing
don't,
football.
I can't watch football all year. I need to. This is missing football. I did 4 mock drafts today. This is missing football. Sid said football's 7 months, 8 if you count the draft. That's my point. I don't need anything else. I have a dynasty league. I have leagues to set up. I have everything I could want in the NFL. Stop trying to tell me I need more football. I need less. Arguably, my bank account, my relationships in life, my health, my gut. I need less football. Stop trying to make football a thing outside. I don't care. I'm never going to be invested until these leagues get a fantasy league that matters. And once they do that, I will pay the money required to join said league, and I won't be happy about it.
Well, first of all, I'm also surprised too that you weren't bought in by the notion about how they're making live betting and all that stuff like an emphasis in these leagues.
Greg,
Like they'll
my
put like
betting
they'll
needs
put
to
the line,
require-
they'll put like
No,
over and under
my
on this
betting
thing and
is
stuff. Yeah.
required around athletes who I know what they're going to do. A UDFA out of Louisiana Tech that is just signed to an XFL team who's the backup running back. I will not put my hard-earned money on that no name to rush for 17 and a half yards. That's
But if
just
it was an
not
NFL
something
game,
I care about.
Then that's different. Yeah. Then that's different.
That's the point. Stop telling me I need more football. I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy.
Greg,
I opt out. Opt out.
You're absolutely bearing the lead here. That was the best fucking take we've had on this show in a minute. Was give me time to miss football. I
It's
fucking
real.
love that. That needs to be on a t-shirt. Like, I miss football. Let me miss football. Something like that.
I need to be allowed to miss football. If I don't, then
Yes.
it's just I don't care. If it's always there, Greg, it's going to turn into fucking NBA where there's 82. NBA baseball lasts an entire millennium.
Yeah.
That's why I don't care about it. There's games every other Tuesday, except for every day in between. There's 4 games.
I'd argue the NBA is worse because it goes from like October to June, and then that 3-month period in between, you have free agency and the draft like mushed together
But
at
that's my
that point.
You don't.
and then
you
you
don't
have
watch
all that.
the
Yeah.
G League. You don't watch W. You don't do anything else because you're like, okay, Christmas ended. Time to watch basketball. That's it. Like I am a normal human. I watch baseball playoffs. I watch NASCAR's first race of the year in Daytona. I watch the NFL every Sunday religiously, every Monday, every Thursday. And when it comes time for, all these sports like baseball playoffs, hockey playoffs, I went to a game and haven't watched an NHL game this year. It is fine. Playoffs baseball, playoffs hockey.
I think that just
NASCAR, a
broke
couple
Josh's
big
heart
ones.
right there.
Golf's majors, football every second of the sport I'm in. I don't need off-season football.
And for the real sickos like me and Smalls who also watch it on Saturdays,
That's
we really can't fucking give
We
any more
already
time.
have a minor league, Greg. It's called college, and we convinced young people they have to go to it for some reason.
Actually, what's
That's
funny
it.
enough, what's really funny, the USFL actually just had a college draft the other day and stuff.
That's
too.
the worst thing ever. They took CCAC guys. What are we doing here? Those
Actually,
guys
they-
now have stopped trying to make the league, Greg. They have stopped trying to make the league because they made a league
Yeah.
that you watch and participate in by betting the over on Ben DiNucci.
Well, honestly, I haven't watched a full game of the XFL this season. I watched like first week like highlights and stuff, and then I honestly was like flipping through other stuff. So I'm in the minority on this one. But hey, when the USFL starts up and the Pittsburgh Maulers season starts up, maybe I'll give a shit.
Greg, they
They're
cut
playing-
a
they're
guy
playing
because he
again.
asked for pizza. I don't want to hear
Oh,
about
yeah.
the Pittsburgh Maulers.
That coach isn't there anymore, so maybe it might be a little looser.
Josh.
So we'll see.
I just want to give a big shout out to Carnegie Mellon alumni Brian Kahuri, who is playing for the Houston Roughnecks and Las Vegas Roughnecks, Cleek Sweeting of Slippery Rock. So you got.
So actually,
guys
they
out
did call him out in the game. He had a good game.
Who did? Which one? The Carnegie
The
Mellon guy or the
Slippery Rock guy. They were like, played his ball at Slippery Rock. I was
Wait,
like, I know
are
the
there
place.
2 Roughnecks?
There
No,
is a
there's the
USF.
Arlington. There's a
you know.
yeah, there's a Houston Roughnecks that play in the XFL, and there's a
Oh, they're
Houston
the Vipers.
Gamblers.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Vegas Vipers. Yeah, the team that you liked the last time because they were in Tampa Bay and had
That's
all the
right.
USF guys.
Oh yeah, they had.
And they
who-
still do.
Quentin Flowers, right?
Yeah. They have 3
Yeah.
USF guys. Actually, they have Sean Price.
Sid said that's the first CMU commit for sports in university history.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Which, by the way, speaking of USF, since this was brought up, I'm just curious, Josh, have you decided to change your allegiances, or is this still like a wait and see approach?
Derrick's making me feel bad for even having looked all this shit up. So,
Dude,
but I will say that Orlando has 1 USF player, San Antonio has 2 Rutgers players, Vegas has 3 USF players, and then the Battlehawks have the trifecta of 1 Wyoming, 1 Rutgers, and 1 USF player. So I got
the Ravens have Willie Taggart. So
and
what
the
are we doing
Ravens
here?
have Willie Taggart,
You're
and
just like,
Kyle Flood's the O-line coach in Texas.
Is he? Oh wow! I
yeah,
haven't heard
dude.
that
Wow.
name.
Oh yeah,
Good for him.
yeah.
Flood
Talk
the
about
line,
a
baby.
bounce
Flood
back
the
from
line.
being canceled right
Yeah,
fucking there.
facts.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Well, I mean,
that our
and Greg
shows have a
Schiano's-
general consistent line through them anymore.
Yeah.
Like canceled was you brought that back. I do feel like South Park this season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Emerging
Wait,
tech
which one of it-
Greg.
I was gonna say, which one of us is PC principal in that case?
You, because you're not drinking.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So that was the XFL.
And because you slay puss. All right, XFL.
All right. Okay. Do you want to talk about real football now, or do you want to talk about the NBA?
Ooh.
Let's do real
I'm thrown
football
off.
because I really
I
like
would
this
like
graphic.
a break from foot. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk football, baby.
Yeah.
Lots
Football's
of
year
openings
round,
for used
yeah.
car salesmen. All of a sudden, Sid said, "Yep, this is a good graphic."
I'm pretty pumped about it.
We used that. I don't know if it was the same one, Josh. I think it was the one on the right for an actual ad for one of the lottery accounts at work.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Did
you
hear
really?
these?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So when I saw it, I was like, I thought you were trolling me, to be honest with you. I don't know
Nope.
why. I assumed you knew this lottery
Nope.
account. Okay, Josh, your favorite rumor?
Zach Wilson to the Ravens. I invented it. I invented it on last week's show. It's my favorite rumor still. Zach Wilson to
This
the Ravens.
is how rumors
Willie
get
Taggart.
started.
Let's fucking go. Purple and gold. Let's go.
So I think the rumor then is that Zach Wilson leaves the Jets.
Oh, I don't
Like,
even think that's
they-
a rumor at this point, right? Like, it's
no,
about.
I think
I thought that was about as solidified as when Derek Carr said at the All-Star game that he won't be back
So-
in Vegas.
no. So for me, with Zach Wilson, they need love the graphics, spectacular NBA rigs.
Thank you.
For me, Zach Wilson, I would need damn near a second round pick to move him. Otherwise,
what I'm
why would
saying.
you not keep him? I'm keeping him behind Derek Carr because here's the thing: Derek Carr, if he went to the Jets,
I was gonna
Derek
say,
Carr
when did
goes
that
down. Derek Carr goes down. You still need a guy, and Zach Wilson had shown flashes of something he might be able to learn behind it. There's just no reason to force that trade. Make him the backup.
That's the other thing too. If you're gonna try to trade for him though, like I don't know what team's gonna give up a second round pick for basically a backup.
But that's
In
that.
that
Well,
case.
no.
But that's what we're saying.
you
He's not
pitch-
just a
yeah.
back.
I'm not moving him for a third, fourth, fifth round pick, Greg. He was the second overall pick in the draft. There's just no. I will eat his contract until his 5th year because
Well,
there's still potential there.
Well, even then, like you wouldn't even have to do the 5th year because I mean, after this year is when they have to make the decision on his 5th year option. So realistically, like if he doesn't play this year and stuff, then they only have to deal with him for 1 more year. And I feel bad for saying deal with him to a degree because I thought when they drafted him and stuff in the first place that it was like I didn't think he was that good in
He
all
just didn't have
seriousness.
anything to grow into. He was
No,
just a guy.
I
that
think it's
threw
just
a
people.
ball in shorts to another guy in shorts with no.
It was
defenders.
It was literally a Jamarcus Russell performance. Like people got wowed by the cannon
Yep.
of an arm and were like, "Oh, I want to get my hands on that and stuff." And then no one like thought anything else about like what kind of offense he ran at BYU and all this type of stuff. People just saw the Mahomes cop and then that was it, which
Yeah.
is absurd because I don't think anyone's Patrick Mahomes anymore. So that's like something that you couldn't even bring up in that.
Josh would like to say he is Patrick Mahomes.
No, I have a question. So
Go ahead.
would he not be a more valuable trading asset this year? Because if you trade him to whoever, they have that 5th-year option then.
May I, Greg?
Yeah. That was
Go
a
ahead.
question. I don't know if that's how that works. I know that's
You
how it
are
works in the NHL.
only as valuable as the teams that are willing to trade for him. And Zach Wilson's stock has never been lower. Like, even before he was born, his stock was higher than right now.
Okay.
His stock is dirt, Josh. Like,
Okay.
I'm talking, if a team wants him, they would, I mean, realistically, they'd probably only have to give up a 4th and a 3rd or something like that. Like, the Jets seem completely moving on, done from this kid. I just think his stock is so low. If you bring in a car, and Zach Wilson said, if they bring in a veteran, I'll make it hell. I get what you're saying, because a team could turn him around and like then have that type of stuff. If I'm the Ravens, if I'm
Vegas.
the Vegas, the Colts, the Texans, all these
Yep.
teams that need a quarterback, I would much rather draft a quarterback and have the clock reset, because as a coach,
Okay.
when you draft a quarterback, you then have 5, obviously not always, 5 years, right? You have a window to win a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback. Zach Wilson's window as a starter currently right now shut. I would also say, though, tell me if this is wild, Greg, I feel like the Jets did the same thing with Sam Darnold. I feel like the Panthers found a starting quarterback in Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold had more success than Zach Wilson, sure, but it's a very similar situation in which, hey, we have this guy, he knows how to throw the ball. We gave him nothing to try to make him good at it. He's a dickhead. Let's get rid of him and see if somebody wants the tires. I mean, Baker played a starting game this year.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson will start another game of football. You just got to find the idiot that wants that.
I would say with regards to Darnold, though, Darnold had just like worse luck with regards to injuries, and he never was able to he never was able to like get consistent with regards to that, and I think it ended up hurting him. I would say for Zach
He went
Wilson,
to celebrate a win and made out with a girl and got mono.
which New York, baby, can't get anything there. So, but I look at Zach Wilson and stuff. The highest that he ever had was literally when he beat the Steelers. That's it. And then after that, it was just like plateaued after the fact in that case. When you lose a locker room, that's how you know you're basically done in that case. And that's the other thing that I don't think people are talking about in that case. Bringing him in and stuff, you have to make sure he's the right culture fit for you as well. Because you cannot like take a chance on a guy that had his entire offense turn on him in the middle of a season when they were in the race for a playoff spot.
May I disagree with you?
Go ahead.
If you wait 12 years, he may be a starter, circa Geno Smith. He got punched in the mouth. NBA says, question, how would you guys comp Zach Wilson versus Will Levis?
Two completely different
I think it's a great question.
quarterbacks. I think they're two different quarterbacks. Levis is a bigger guy, better arm, not as much mobility. With regards to that, though, he's much more of a pocket passer type. Wilson's going to be the type of guy that's going to try to make plays with his legs. The difference is that he won't actually make plays. He'll just try to with his legs. Levis is this is why when we talk about the draft, this is why it drives me nuts, because I hate this quarterback class so much. Levis is the guy that, like, when you look at the measurables, he is everything that I think most GMs want. But when you watch him play, his tape is just not that good.
It was great last year.
It was great last year, and then this year, just like.
What do you mean, in Kentucky last year with Wanda Robinson, he was elite.
Yeah, but his decision making this year was so piss poor. He lost games for them with the ball.
He like hovered around probably like a 55% completion rate. Right, Josh?
Last year
and
he was 66, and this year he was 65.
65. Okay. And he lost a majority of his good players, right? And he's in a conference that's a little tough. He's at a school that's not that great, right?
You know what's interesting, Derek?
That he is Josh Allen.
I would say that he had maybe even a better year as far as, so he had 65% and 2,400 yards and 19 TDs with lesser players. And he threw less interceptions.
To me,
which is interesting.
It genuinely comes down to, are you in the situation to build this guy?
Yeah, he threw the ball a lot less too. Almost 100
Will
times.
Levis right now, I would rather have than Zach Wilson due to the contract, due to what I've seen,
fair.
all that stuff.
That's fair.
For me, you're looking at the, You're looking at the upside of a one arm versus the upside of an entire body. That's literally all I got. They're both morons. They both don't know how to play football, but one guy is 6'4" and a tank.
Oh,
The other
yeah,
guy
he's
is a short little Mormon
significantly
boy.
bigger. I mean, they're an
Yes.
inch apart, but Zach Wilson's listed at 214, and Levis was like 2 something crazy.
Yeah.
What was it?
It's like 250 or
231.
240. Is it?
He's
Yeah,
huge.
perfect.
It's all that extra calories he's getting from putting mayo in his coffee, man.
Greg. Yeah,
Bulk up.
facts. That's a good point. What is your
Bulk
rumor?
up. My rumor is the one that my least favorite analyst on all of TV has been putting out into the universe, and it makes me want to throw my coffee at my TV when I hear it in the morning. It is the idea that the Bears want to trade Justin Fields and then draft Bryce Young.
Which is great.
This angers me so much when I see this. It really does. Everything about Justin Fields strikes me as a guy that I would love, that I think the majority of franchises would want as their starting quarterback. The problem is that the Bears had absolutely nothing. They had no offensive line. The wide receivers were absolutely mediocre. When Darnell Mooney's your number one receiver, I think you have a problem. Your running game was not that great. What the fuck did Justin Fields have to work with last year that now that Bryce Young is going to make better?
Longer contract.
It's 2 years though. Like, and here's the other thing too. You're going to basically
just knocking Zach Wilson, right?
We're talking
were
about
saying,
Justin Fields.
No.
Young.
We were saying with Zach Wilson, we were saying, oh, well, you only have a year left to decide if you want him. And with Justin Fields, we're saying, oh, yeah, no, you're fine. You got all the time in the world.
Difference in this case is like Justin Fields didn't lose an entire locker room, and Justin Fields at least showed growth in his second year. Zach Wilson basically regressed, and I think he did.
He's a great rusher, Greg.
I would say his passing numbers improved a little bit, but I'm also pointing this out here too. This is the Will Levis conversation. What did he have to work with? Barely anything.
That's just not an excuse in the NFL for me.
Zach Wilson had so much to work with on that offense, and he couldn't do dick.
The comparison for Wilson and Justin Fields for what I just made was only on the contract time. That's the only thing I want Zach Wilson a part of this.
Fine.
Remove that. Justin Fields for me was a terrible NFL quarterback. Justin Fields is a phenomenal fantasy football quarterback. I think we need to define the fact that a lot of the times, and I feel fall victim to this too, Greg, we replace good quarterback play with good fantasy football play. I do it. I look at Justin Fields' fantasy numbers and I go, that's a good quarterback. He's a starter. You then look at other quarterbacks who are probably good starters, like a Derrik Carr, and you go, I'm not touching him in fantasy. I don't want anything to do with him. He throws interceptions and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields, we all love. I think Justin Fields is a phenomenal talent. The Chicago Bears have been a complete and absolute dumpster fire since Jay Cutler, and the point of that entire statement is because they weren't even good with Jay Cutler.
That's fair.
I get it, Greg. I don't think they should move on from Fields. I think Fields is a great talent. He didn't throw one ball last year that made me go, oh, he can throw.
Would you say this is a situation kind of like when Jimmy Johnson took over for the Cowboys and Herschel Walker was there?
It's fair. Point.
It's an interesting take. My problem with this is that, first off, number one, I'm not sold on Bryce Young. I'm not. I'm sorry. I like it. I look at him and stuff, and I see, and I loved what he did at Bama. Like I still think that Heisman season is kind of like, yeah, it was a Heisman season.
Nobody won it.
Right. Like it was a Heisman year, sure, but there was nothing that like kind of made me go, wow.
No.
You know, like previous Heisman winners, like I've seen, and I know like what I see with my eyes, I'm like, that dude was a Heisman winner.
That's a man. Yes.
Yes. Cam Newton absolutely deserved that Heisman and stuff. But Bryce Young, I'm just like, there's just nothing about him that like makes me like look at him and I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to be amazing at the pros.
Remove Bryce Young's name and make the rumor the Chicago Bears trade Justin Fields for their quarterback of choice in this draft class. What do you think?
Well, that makes
To
me even
me,
less
the
nervous.
quarterback I want is CJ Stroud. Against Georgia, now you see flashes of greatness, you see flashes of terrible. Against Georgia, the number one defense we've seen in college football since Clemson's natty team,
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud tore them a new one.
No, that's fair. I remember watching that game with you. He absolutely did amazing. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. like became a top 5 draft pick next year because of that game. So I'm there with you. It's just, but I even bring this up too. This quarterback class is messy to me at best. It's so
agree.
messy.
So
Bryce
then
Young,
remove names and just say they get to pick the quarterback they believe in, or Justin Fields. Do you know what I mean?
if you can make that case for me, then I can live with it at least.
Yeah.
I can live with it. But I would be curious though.
Yeah.
What would they get more value from? Trading Justin Fields or trading the number 1 overall pick? Because to me, it's the number 1 overall pick.
Well, and okay, so then let's look at the, I don't want to get into semantics for it. Yes, the number 1 overall pick will get you more draft stock, capital, and players. But what you get with a quarterback is 2 more years on that contract than Justin Fields. That has to be accounted in it. I get what you're saying. So if the Bears trade back to the Colts right now, they're probably looking at, and historically, I can't remember what it is, but it's like the Bears would get the Colts pick this year, probably a second rounder this year, the Colts first round next year. There's a precedent set here from the Wentz Goff years and the Winston Mariota. There's a precedent about moving up that's been set. So there's a number they're looking for.
Right.
If I'm the Bears, I do genuinely look at Fields though and go, he just didn't look comfortable. And dude, the other side of it though, Greg, is they got Chase Claypool for Justin Fields specifically. That feels very true in my brain.
Yeah.
You're not giving, I mean, genuinely, the Steelers have 2 first-round picks this year now.
I know. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I would have I cannot believe they gave up as much as they did for him, but hey, I'm not complaining for it. So,
and I also don't think the Bears do trade him, Greg. I don't think they should. But
okay.
I don't think it's this outlandish thing, if that makes sense.
I struggle, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
If there's more of a rumor out there for Justin Fields getting traded versus Zach Wilson getting traded is the stuff that like blows my mind, because when I look at the two, it's not even close to see who is actually the better player.
Well, Zach Wilson won't cost much. Justin
True.
Fields will cost a lot.
Mm-hmm. But that also lends credence to the idea too that like Justin Fields is still someone that you can build an offense around too. And I am pointing this
very much so.
And if a team is willing to like trade something for Justin Fields and stuff, hear me out on this one. If I'm Washington, I'm making a call, and I'm making Justin Fields in that offense with Eric Bieniemy as my OC, and seeing if Eric Bieniemy can do damage with that offense, and make that his modus operandi to being a future head coach in that case.
Josh, I sent a group chat. We have a draft chat. So it's me, Greg, Austin, Dre, and Peng. And it's where I send out, hey guys, here's our schedule for my guys, mock drafts, everything. And today I put in something that I said, I don't know what this thought is formally right now, but if the Commanders go into next year with just Sam Howell, they wasted money on Eric Bieniemy.
And here's the fascinating thing too.
Don't hate that either.
There's a chance that Washington can draft a quarterback in this class too.
What do they have?
The
12? 16.
I think they're at
That's
16.
Right. They're right in front of us.
But even if they're at 16 though, like someone could fall. Like and granted, I don't think Anthony Richardson is that great of a quarterback, but if you're high on the athleticism, the mobility,
I don't think any of the 4 of them get out of the top 10, Greg.
That's just because how quarterbacks work.
4 quarterbacks go in the top 10 of this draft.
And that's why I hate this quarterback class, because if I look at them and stuff, I don't like this quarterback class at all.
Commanders pick at 16.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, they'd have to work some stuff. I guess, Josh, and my point about that was like, I know I hate Sam Howell in UNC football, and that's rooted in Greg. I'm aware
and Drake May is going to be a top 5 pick next year too.
I will gladly tell you Drake May is going to be a bust just because I hate UNC football. You think he's top 5?
Sam Howell?
No. Drake May next year. He was a true freshman stud.
I would say top 5 right now. Yes, him and Caleb Williams are the 2 best quarterbacks. Caleb Williams is going to be number 1 overall, obviously, but I would say Drake May has a good chance to get top 5 next year. It's like in terms of
Good
guys
chance,
that
yeah. That's
in
fair.
terms of guys that like off the top of my head that I know are going to be top 5s or probably in that realm, it's Caleb Williams, Drake May. There's a linebacker from Clemson and Marvin Harrison Jr. That's it.
Okay, who
Yeah.
had the better year, Drake May or Will Levis? Statistical, which one do you think?
Will Levis.
Nope.
Drake May.
He threw for
Drake May was
4,000
incredible.
yards and 38 TDs. He had
No,
a
no,
66% completion rate. That's
So
fucking
I'm-
bonkers.
Josh, have you ever heard of WalterFootball.com? So, Greg, I know you have. It's basically it's a janky site that just
Very
It's-
janky.
it literally probably covers up to 2037. Like it just all the guys and the years they're eligible and all that stuff.
This is incredible.
It's the worst site in terms of like actual functionality, but it's a great site. So Caleb Williams 1 to the Bucks, Marvin Harrison Jr. 2 to the Texans, Dallas Turner, defensive end Alabama, who's filling Will Levis's shoes for the Colts, or Will Anderson.
Will Anderson.
Cardinals take the defensive end out of Florida State. The top tackle from this class, who actually went back to Penn State, Omiyala Fashanu to the Bears. Tight end, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking for this quarterback. This is absurd. Drake May would not fall this far. This is like embarrassing for me to have to, and the site just crashed. Hold on.
I told you janky is the word.
An ad was loading. Okay. So he's not a top 16 pick per Walter Football, Greg. Now, Josh, this means nothing. Like this literally means nothing. But the exercise I'm doing here is to try to see the next other quarterback. They have us taking Zion Nelson, tackle to Miami. So keep his name in your books.
That's definitely not right because I think he's in this year's class. So he'll be like a 7th round guy. So
yeah, so they just genuinely don't have another quarterback outside of Caleb Williams. So
which I don't believe at all. So yeah,
really know where I'm going to go with this from now on. So I'm just going to shut up.
Pro Football Network has their consensus board for 2024.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so just to give some stats on all this shit, right? Bryce Young was the best quarterback out of what we just talked about. Better stats than C.J. Stroud. Now, where I think what is really interesting, and I would argue that in college, that Justin Fields year where he threw 41 touchdowns at Ohio State his sophomore year, that was probably a better Ohio State team than the one C.J. Stroud just led to the playoffs. Does anybody disagree with that? Okay.
No, don't disagree at all. Yeah.
So if you
I'm gonna run to the restroom
compare,
again, boys. Just
go ahead. If you compare their stats, like C.J. Stroud is significantly better than Justin Fields. So if you're gonna do it statistically, I guess it makes sense. Bryce Young also obviously statistically better than Justin Fields in college, but even though Alabama maybe wasn't as Alabama as they normally are, I mean, they're still fucking Alabama. He had more talent around him than either C.J. Stroud or Justin Fields ever had. So,
well, here's the crazy thing, Josh. If you look at this, like that Bama team this year that Bryce Young had, their weapons that they had to work with were not that great. Like especially the receivers. Like I could probably like get Deke more like involved in that one, but like their receivers were not that good, especially if you're comparing it to the previous year when they had like Devontae Smith or Jamison Williams.
True,
or, like,
I mean
some of these other guys and stuff like that was just ridiculous. Some of the talent that they had on that team and stuff, but.
I also think you may have to
saying.
do a wait and see. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe they weren't electric this year, but next year, who knows? You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I completely get it and stuff like that. But your C.J. Stroud point is very accurate and stuff because if you look at the two, Stroud and Fields are different type of quarterbacks as well. Like Stroud is very much more of your prototypical pocket passing type guy who could make plays with legs but chooses not to, and he's got a rocket for an arm. Fields is a guy that needed to take time to kind of like learn how to throw and learn how to be a real quarterback instead of having his athleticism be the thing that drove him. But it is fair to say too that like when he was at Ohio State, like his numbers were great, but those Ohio State teams were great.
NBA said check the tape of Justin Fields passing TD to Pettis and St. Brown. Those were worldly throws for Justin Fields. Zach Wilson can also make a throw.
Right. Let me just one more other statistical thing. Who had more yards this year, Kenny Pickett or Justin Fields thrown?
Thrown, I'd probably go Fields. He started every game. Was it Pickett?
No, because there were some games Pickett had like 300 something passing yards, like before they
Towards the
switched
end
to
of the
like
year. Yeah, good point.
yeah. Not even like the end of the year, but like before like Canada like switched over to like a more balanced offense and stuff. Like the loss against the Eagles, he had like 360, 380, I think.
Justin
so I think Pickett,
Fields only threw for just over 2,000 yards.
Oh wow. Can I toss out another name here?
Hang on, one other one.
Please.
Who had more touchdowns this year? Davis Mills or Smith?
Smith?
Or I'm sorry, Justin Fields.
Is it touchdowns throwing or total?
Throwing.
Throwing. Wow.
Davis Mills or Justin Fields. This is the conversations we're talking about. A guy
Davis
who
Mills
started
because-
half the fucking season out through him, and then
Davis Mills because
fucking
Nico
Mills
Collins had a good year. Yeah.
had the same amount of touchdowns as Justin Fields.
Wow.
17.
I
That's what
still
I'm saying.
want to
Like he's just
Not good. Not good.
But I still want to give credence to the fact too that he just didn't have a lot to work with though. I have to.
Davis Mills did.
Greg.
What are we doing?
I have to.
You have to because you want him to succeed, which is fine. Can we stop acting like we just had a full fucking segment on the XFL. Everyone in the NFL deserves to be there. Stop acting like these aren't weapons. Just because he doesn't have Stephon Diggs doesn't mean he doesn't have a wide receiver, Greg.
No. I was bringing up a point that like at least Davis Mills had your boy Brandon Cooks, whereas like
I love Brandon Cooks.
Justin Fields didn't have.
Brandon Cooks had a
anyone,
bad year.
He did.
We have tapes of Justin Fields in NFL now more legit than most college quarterback against lesser competition. I would take Stroud over Fields. I would take Young over Fields. Then we get into Levis and Richardson. Currently, right now, conversation and all. Can I make a bet?
Okay.
I love when you force me to take bets. So go ahead.
Josh,
Someone's shotgunning some shit.
I need you to remember this, Josh.
I have a perfect place to put this bet. All right, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Quinn Ewers will be drafted higher than Drake May.
Wait, is he eligible next year?
He is. And Archie Manning's coming to Texas, so Quinn has 1 year left at Texas under Steve Sarkisian.
Ah, damn it. I don't want to
give me Quinn Ewers over Drake May till I die.
Oh, I don't want to take that bet because it is going to happen.
Josh, do you see how confident he was?
Yeah, he was.
No.
Drake May's going to have a terrible year this year, and they're going to say, well, look at last year's tape. And Quinn Ewers is going to come out and ball and then leave, and Archie's going to continue, and Texas is going to be a natty contender in 2 years. Quinn Ewers will be drafted higher than Drake May.
I completely forgot that Quinn Ewers was coming out next year. That's why I'm eating my words on this one. Completely forgot.
You don't even know what I wanted to bet, and you're out.
I am, because I completely forgot Quinn Ewers was eligible. I'm not betting against Quinn Ewers.
What a lawn chair, Josh. You see him fold?
I forgot.
I hate it.
I forgot Quinn Ewers was in. I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I thought it was just him and Caleb Williams.
Cannot give up alcohol next Lent. That Quinn Ewers.
Oh, shit.
And if I lose, I have to.
Oh, Greg.
Wow.
That's a pretty good bet to take because then he has to give it up, and then that.
Well, to be fair, we wouldn't know by Lent, huh?
Yeah, it would be It would be the following one after next year. So.
Well, I will just start the day after the final round of the draft, so we get a weekend of drinking. 40 days. You either have to drink all 40, or I don't get to drink at all.
I love this bet. I know I have no skin in the game, but I love the bet.
But you got to remember it.
I have my, trust me, with all the fucking bullshit games that I've had to create, I have like a thing that just says bets, so we're good.
Okay, I kind of do believe that Quinn Ewers will get drafted over Drake May,
okay.
but
we don't have to make it, Greg.
But this sounds really fun.
Here's what I'll say, Greg. Let's pause it.
Okay.
Let's come back next week. You invent your side of the bet. My side of the bet is that you have to like, we'll figure it out, but you can't give up alcohol for Lent in 2 Lents from now, which I know sucks, but that's what I want. So we'll talk about that.
It's a fun one.
Josh, do we want to get to the game?
Well, do you want to do the game or just do the normal draft thing?
Up to you. There's 15 minutes left. I know that the game sounded super fun and took you a while to get.
It's going to take a long time, I would think.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right.
I'm okay with extending.
Well, and I guess my other point was I didn't know if you had added that to the draft.
Yeah,
thing.
I did. Yep.
I kind of just want to play the game.
Okay. Great.
but we can do whatever you want to do.
Hang on, I have to finish typing in this bet. So here, let me pull up the game board so you can explain to everybody how it works, and I'll finish typing in this bet. The game board is now live.
Beautiful. Game board is live. NBA, if you're still watching, brother, appreciate the absolute shit out of you. Anybody watching? So what we're doing, this is Connect 4. It's popular. So for example, if you see the teams across the top, teams on the side, the goal is to find somebody that played at Alabama and played for the Steelers. One thing I will say, Greg, because this is Connect 4, if you make that pick, your thing drops to the bottom. So you don't need... Well, so that's Connect 4, right? If you place it here, it goes. So we don't need to clean the Browns. We don't need to clean the Eagles. Josh, you hate that?
It's just going to be even harder.
You think?
Well, yeah, because like if it drops, then it would fall in the spot where Bama Cleveland is instead of Bama Steelers.
Okay, then let's do hanging Connect 4.
Okay,
I see. I like it. I'm cool with whatever. I don't care.
All right.
Can we do another live stream tomorrow for the game? What game is tomorrow?
I don't know.
On a Friday? I don't know any games tomorrow. Yeah.
Is it NBA? Is there an NBA game tomorrow that's big?
I know the NBA is back tonight. I just didn't know there was anything big tomorrow.
NBA just said we can do another live stream tomorrow for the game. Okay, whatever. We'll see what he says. The game. Oh, the Connect 4 game.
Okay, gotcha.
He said we should. Yeah, no. We'll do it now. I appreciate that, NBA. Okay, Josh, show us yours.
Okay, we're gonna see who gets to defer or pick first. And they are off. Greg is off to a big start here early, but we got two Deeks coming up behind him. Deke, the Raiders, is looking really good. Deke in the Raiders uniform. Oh, here comes Greg's in a Chargers uniform. The Jacksonville Jaguars uniform at the top. Here comes Greg. Two Gregs at the goal line. Can Deke overcome it? No, Greg wins. All right.
Dude, my Raider, I just watched it hit molasses between the 40 and 20. Can we check the turf, please?
That was Darren McFadden. That's what it was. Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. That was great. Okay. Connect 4. So, Greg, do you want to pick first or defer?
I'm going to defer.
Okay.
And let him have his chance.
So then here's how I'm going to do this. If you guess it, okay, and you get it, you get it. If you guess it and you miss, and the opponent can get it, they get it, right? But then that also means they get to go again. Okay? Finally, if you I have
Do we have a shot clock?
Oh yeah, we'll do shot clock.
Okay. I think it'd be smart because I could sit here all day and be like,
how long do you want your shot clock?
20 seconds, Greg?
That's a lot.
20 sounds good. 20 sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then if both miss, it goes back to the original person. If they want to continue, I will give a hint.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So all of the colleges to all the teams, clearly there is a guy, right? Are these all common guys or some of them like early? You know what I mean? They're all guys I should have
stated they were drafted.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So wait, then I have a question. If I take a guy that was not drafted but fits the criteria, that's incorrect.
That's the way I had planned on it, but we may need to switch it up because there's a couple that are going to be a little hard.
I say let's try drafting.
Yeah.
And
like
then
I said, we can see.
Because there's a guy I'm thinking of right now that fits too that was not drafted. And I'm like, that's a clear. But yes, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, obviously for Georgia, there's two off the top of your head, right?
Yeah.
So, go where you want. But yeah. So yeah, let's just see how it plays and we'll fine tune it because I think it is a fun game.
I love this.
This is gonna be interesting because there's stuff that I'm probably gonna completely blank on.
And there's if there wasn't a name valued player, I tried to get somebody that was drafted in the past 5 years.
Okay.
So it should be at least and tried to be in the top 3 rounds. So
that's fine. Yeah, this is perfect, Josh.
Cool.
I like
this. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Greg deferred.
Defer or are you going first?
I defer.
Okay, Deke. Where are we going?
I'm up. Give me Broncos, Alabama, Patrick Surtain.
Yep, that'll work.
Ooh, I was thinking it was gonna be Jerry Judy actually.
Could have been.
It
I
could have
mean,
been.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not yes or no, Greg. It's this is yes. This is an acceptable name.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, Josh. I just saw what you're. I'm delayed, and I was like, that was Georgia, Seattle.
Yep, we're good.
And I would also like to add that I do not like having the outside. I want to start in the middle. So that's
Sorry,
how
dude.
thrown off. No. I'm saying that this is a tough game. Like I'm in.
All right. Ready, Greg?
Yeah.
Clock has started.
I'm gonna go. All right. I'm gonna go Seattle, Ole Miss, DK Metcalf.
That is correct.
That's a good one, Greg.
Derrik, you're up, and the clock has started.
Me, Browns, Georgia, Nick Chubb.
Yep, that's absolutely right. You guys are doing way better at this than I thought.
Well, and I've already got the front and back end of my Connect Four, so
Why did you just tell him your strategy?
because I want him to try to think about a LSU Eagle, and he won't be able to.
I'm so sorry. Wait, you picked who'd you get? Chubb.
Georgia, Browns, Nick Chubb.
Thank you, Georgia Browns. Okay. Okay. Greg, go.
Give me. Crap.
10 seconds.
Yeah, now I'm thinking. I'm overthinking shit. Oh god damn it! I'm overthinking.
Final answer.
Give me an easy one. Give me Steelers, Bama, Najee Harris.
There you go.
You pick, Greg.
Shit. This is gonna be harder than I thought.
Yeah, you guys came out firing. I was like, oh shit. Maybe I
Bro,
made
I'm
it too
ready.
easy. All right.
No, you didn't. You made this really hard.
Deke.
Eagles, Georgia, Jordan Davis. Or
I'm just-
N'Kobe Dean. It's up to you guys.
I'm just double checking.
I've never loved to flex on Greg more than this moment in life right now.
Mm,
Jordan
And it's
Davis
about to hit
is
a
an Eagle
screeching,
and Georgia.
screeching halt,
That's
Greg.
Deke token.
My goal
It's
right
a
now is
lot
just to
for the
hit
game master. There's a lot of moving parts.
the DM. My goal right now is just to hit every pick. I don't care where it's at.
Yeah, okay. I see. Yeah, this is good.
I just
okay.
if I see something, just get it
Yeah,
right now.
Right. All right. Ready, Greg? You're on the clock.
give me. God, I hate this. Give me
5 seconds.
Eagles, Alabama, Devontae Smith.
Yes, that is correct.
It's a good pick, Greg. That's a good pick.
Greg with a little defense there. Derrik, you're on the
I'm just
board.
like-
Take it.
I would like to block Greg. Give me Cameron Sutton, Tennessee Steelers.
Yup.
Almost went Josh Dobbs, but
That's who I have on my board because we love our guy. Okay. Greg, you're up. Take it away.
Give me. Oh, jeez. Okay.
5 seconds.
Cowboys, Alabama, Trayvon Diggs.
Yes.
ooh, good pull, Greg.
Oops. I accidentally took the decoy away. Cowboys, Alabama.
Tennessee's gonna be the tough one for me.
So on my board, Tennessee has 2 reds and a yellow. So the yellow is a player that you may not know because it's like a later player, but it was a big
Yeah.
player. And then 2 reds of like, I don't know if they'll get these. So
Yeah.
all right, Deke, you're up. Take it away.
All right, give me this might be one where I falter
10
because
seconds.
I'm trying to build that thing there and I just don't think I can.
Final answer.
Give me Tim Tebow, Florida Broncos.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow.
I have a few that I'm trying to save for panic mode. None of
was
them
one.
are near. Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely one of them. None
Yeah.
of them are near a situation where the guy's there.
Right. Greg, you are up. Take it away.
Oh man.
10 seconds.
Give me Steelers, Florida, Marquise Pouncey.
That is
Nice pick.
correct. There was really an endless supply of offensive linemen for the Steelers that came out of
Yeah.
Florida. You really had your pick. All right, Derek, take it away.
Give me Browns, LSU, Greedy Williams.
That is fucking correct. That was one of my
Oh.
yellows. Good job.
What a great poll.
They have a
Great
couple.
poll.
So Grant Delpit's also there, but Greedy Williams,
Yep,
he
that's
was
a good
supposed
one.
to be the guy he was just scared of hitting. Thank you, NBA.
Take it away, Greg.
Mm. Fuck. God damn, I'm like running through names.
Shot
in my
clock.
head.
Need a
No, this is
final
tough.
answer.
I ain't got
5,
nothing.
4. Okay, Derek, you get a chance.
What is
Well, I would say you get a chance to steal because he shot clocked, right?
Yeah,
I'm cool with
shut
it
up.
just being my turn,
Okay,
but I don't
cool.
care. I
All
don't
right.
care.
That's fine. Let's do it that way. It's your turn. It's my turn.
my
Take it away.
my turn. Give me. This is tough. You did a good job with this, Josh.
Thank you.
No, it shows.
Auburn's the school that's really killing me.
It's killing all of you.
Yeah, I don't even want to touch it at this point. Give me.
Shot clock. Final answer.
Yeah. Pass. Greg's up.
Damn.
Ah,
Now don't forget, like you guys can go right. You could pick your square, forfeit it, assuming that the other one doesn't know it, and then come back and get a clue.
Oh, true. I forgot about the.
Yeah,
clue.
don't
So
forget.
do we have
you
to?
got
We have to
clues.
select a square for the clue before.
Yeah, let's do that. If we're given a pass on the shot clock, let's do it that way then. Okay,
Cool.
Greg, go for it.
give me Steelers, Auburn, Sammy Coates.
Yeah, Greg.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good
Oh
one.
my
That's a good one.
God.
Damn.
Deke, you're on the clock.
Steelers, Ole Miss, Mark Robinson.
Ooh, I will need to double check.
Wasn't that from this year, Greg?
It was, yeah.
He was Ole Miss, I think.
Steeler. Who was it? Mark Robinson.
Mark Robinson. He was an outside linebacker, or started inside for us this past year. I believe he
Mark
was a 6th-round
Robinson.
pick this past draft from the Steelers.
Seven.
Steelers.
7th, was he? Okay.
Pick. Select Mark Robinson, 7th round. He was right on that.
Let's go.
And Ole Miss. That's right.
I needed to block you there.
Okay.
I can't let Greg just steal all the Steelers guys.
Yeah, right. That was like I was trying to pick teams too that like were at least relevant in the past.
No,
couple
this is
of
good.
years.
This is good.
No, this is really
Okay.
good.
Seattle's killing me too because they take a bunch of jagoffs.
Well, that was why I left them in there. Greg, you're on the clock.
Okay. I'm like running around trying to rack my brain on guys.
Shot clock. Final answer. You could pick a square. Just pick a random.
Yep, just try and he can give you a hit next time.
3, 2, 1.
Georgia Broncos.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay, so Derek, you have a chance to steal Georgia Broncos. Clock
Okay.
has started.
Georgia Broncos. I don't know if he went there. I don't think he did. Give me Ojulari.
Ojulari Broncos, Georgia.
I don't think he's there, but I know he's Georgia.
Finding Denver. Aziz Ojulari?
Yeah.
I think you got it, baby.
No, he's with the Giants.
Well, hang on. I'm trying to see. Okay, so now that I've got the right player, let me just double check and see where and on all that kind of stuff. Okay, Ojulari.
He is Giants, yeah.
He was drafted by who, though, is the question. college
drafted by the
career.
Giants.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. Okay, so Greg, we're
Mhm.
back on Georgia and the Broncos, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. This player was drafted in 1995 in the 6th round. He had a 7-year NFL career and is a Hall of Famer.
Georgia Broncos.
7.
Come on, 90s Broncos.
Oh, Terrell Davis.
That's right.
Oh,
Right.
thank God.
90s, bro. Like, I mean, that
I was
it's
gonna say
like him
Shannon
or Elway.
Sharp. Yeah.
Well, no, it was actually between those two, and I couldn't remember which one.
Oh, I don't know where Elway went to school. That's a good question. All right, Derek, you're on the clock.
All right, give me. This is ugly.
This is great. I told you it was going to take forever, though.
No, it's. I mean, this is tough.
Shot clock. Final answer. Pick a square.
Georgia, Alabama.
Okay.
Give me.
But you can't do Georgia, Alabama.
Or Browns, Cleveland
Browns?
Browns, Alabama.
Okay.
Grant Delpit, just because I know it's not.
Oh, you know it's not? Okay.
No, Grant Delpit was LSU, but I'm saying that because I'm like.
Okay, just to
I
move
just
on.
want
All
the-
right.
Yes, yeah, I want the square. Fuck.
Steel clock has started to run, Greg.
For Browns, Alabama, for me
That's
to steal.
right. Yep.
Trent Richardson.
Fuck, I knew that one.
Trent Richardson.
As soon as he said Alabama, I was like,
He's Cleveland
God
Browns.
damn it.
Alabama. But
luckily
where was
I
he
blocked you, Alabama Broncos.
Yep. He was drafted there. All right, great. Good job, Greg.
Oh,
So
if
then
you didn't
Greg
take-
gets to go again.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
Give me
Oh shit.
Eagles, Tennessee,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say Derek Barnett.
Derek Barnett. Eagles.
I don't think he was drafted there, but I could be terribly wrong.
He went to Tennessee. Let's see.
No, I'm thinking of Hassan, huh? I think he was drafted there.
No, he was. Yep. Derek Barnett. You got it.
Good call,
Yes!
Greg. Yeah.
Let's
I was gonna say
go.
no. I instantly was like, no, that's Hassan Reddick.
Base duplicate. It is now coming to the realization for me that there's a chance that this ends in a tie.
Oh, it very much will.
All right, your clock has started, Deke.
Broncos, Georgia, no Sean Moreno.
No Sean Moreno. Okay. hang
Wait
on
a sec. I thought I had Broncos, Georgia.
You,
No,
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that the Terrell Davis one?
yeah, you did you put it on Seattle, Georgia?
I have it. I got something fucked. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Sorry. I will.
You're good. You're good.
Call, Greg.
That's on me.
I felt like that was a weird one, but I needed the 4, so fuck it.
Now I have to go through the painstaking process of figuring out which one. Oh, I got it. All right.
Yeah. Just
Sorry, we got it. Cool. We're good.
Okay. Cool.
Oh. Deke started. Go.
Sweet, thank you. LSU Cowboys. Give me
3.
Shot
clock.
Yeah, give me CeeDee Lamb.
No, that's not right.
No, it's no. I just want the hint on that.
Okay,
square.
okay. So we are on what square again?
LSU Cowboys.
Okay, thank
LSU
you.
Cowboys.
All right, great. Shot clock has started, Greg.
Okay. LSU Cowboys. Give me. Fuck, I'm like wrapping my brain.
I got nothing. Greg.
Shot clock. Final answer.
Patrick Peterson.
Patrick Peterson. No. LSU though, so that was positive.
Yeah. That's why I
Um,
guessed.
okay,
Clue.
and we are doing LSU Cowboys, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Drafted in 2005, this 8-year
Fuck.
pro spent 7 with Dallas, and he is a D end.
I'm never gonna get this. And I have to stick there now that I have the clue.
Yeah, let's do at least a round.
Okay.
All right, I've started the clock.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
No. Oh well, I mean, let me look and see if it is DeMarcus Lawrence. That's not who I have.
I do not think that is who it is, but that's the only D end that's been on the Cowboys that's been around the league forever. But I think he was drafted in like 10 or 11 or something.
Nope, he is a Boise State Bronco.
Okay.
But he also went to Butler County Community College.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Huh.
It has to be different Butler County. All right, anyway. Okay, Greg, would you like to hear the clue again?
No. You said LSU Cowboys, and it was a defensive end that played in the league 7 years with them.
Mhm.
Yep.
8 years
Drafted in
total.
2005. Clock has begun.
An NFL analyst, Marcus Spears.
He's absolutely fucking right.
Did Spears get drafted by the Cowboys? I don't know
Yes,
why
he
I thought he
did.
got there. Huh. Nice.
Good job, Greg.
That's a connect 7 or 6. Who's the Steelers? And I don't want to know the rest for the sake of the game. Steelers, Georgia, Steelers, LSU. Greg.
Wait, he didn't connect 7. What are you talking about? Greg hasn't won.
Well, this is just for fun. Well,
He
yeah, I
just
did.
Cowboys, LSU. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Where do you? Oh, Cowboys, LSU. I'm dumb, guys. I'm sorry.
I know.
It's okay.
So
It's okay,
Greg.
bud.
LSU, Steelers, Georgia, Steelers.
Oh man. LSU Steelers, I think, is Ryan Clark.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah. There's a more
There's-
famous one.
Who's the more famous one?
Is it Willie Parker?
Drafted in 1998, this Hall of Famer played on the O-line for the Steelers his entire career.
Alan Faneca.
That's fucking right.
Oh my
Alan
God!
Damn it.
Wow.
God.
I'm mad at myself for that one.
And then what was the other one? Georgia.
Steelers, Georgia. Give me.
Oh,
Stefan
guys.
New Age.
Guys.
Oh, George Pickens.
And
That's an easy one.
And
Devin Bush.
no.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I can't
Who went
believe
to
this.
Georgia? George
Yup.
Pickens should have guessed that. Georgia. Jarvis Jones? No, he was SC.
no, Jarvis Jones
Jones?
was Georgia. Jarvis Jones was
Jarvis
Georgia.
You could do Jarvis Jones. Heinz fucking Ward.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought we imported him.
We thought we imported him. Yeah. So
We were
that's the
trying
game.
to. We were thinking
job,
of
Greg.
everything under the sun. Yeah, damn it.
All right.
did
That
Jarvis
was a good-
Jones go to Georgia?
I can Google it.
Yeah,
Hang on.
Jarvis Jones went to Georgia. Yeah.
Wow, damn it. Well, he was USC and then Yeah, all right. That was good, Josh. That was a good game. I think
That was a
Heinz
lot
Ward
of fun.
sits it, yeah. That was tough.
The SEC schools like screwed me because I'm
Dude, Auburn.
yeah.
All I could think about was carry on fucking Johnson.
Ugh.
Just nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Another wonderful episode of the show, guys. Thank you so much, Josh. This was great. That was a great ending, and I
Yes. Thank you for all the work you put into that,
Mhm.
bud. That was a lot of fun.
That was
shit.
yeah. give me a break on one of those for a little bit because it takes like you spend all the whole time looking through like teams and you're like, oh well, this team's good, but really they're not that good. Yeah, difficult.
Fair. Completely fine.
NBA, Sid, Bueno, everybody that came in and commented, paying. We love you guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, see you guys next week. It's been a good show. We got draft stuff coming up. A Great Depression is back in full swing, so check out those episodes. We have The Vault. The Vault just dropped a bunch of clips. They have another episode dropping tomorrow with
Which
Josh.
I'm on. And we're talking
Yeah.
college hockey
Malls
jerseys.
dropped a clip during the show, and I'm about to just delete it. Not really. Yeah, big show tomorrow for the Vault. Check that out. Shout out to Benny Buckets on his new job. And then, yeah, I'll probably stream fucking Harry Potter this weekend or something.
Woo!
I gotta go, Deborah. All right. We'll see you guys next week.